Fred?
I'll sell you one.
Hey, I thought you'd have been sick of the sight of that stuff by now.
What stuff?
That pint you're cuddling.
Why should I?
Well, you're still selling it all day, aren't you? I mean, that ice cream cart caper's still going, isn't it?
Button it up, can't you?
No need to button it up on my account, Mr. Yates. Unimportant scraps of information do trend to drift across this bar counter, and the fact that you and Mr. Ogden were selling beer out of an ice cream cart does tend to fit that description. The news can hardly be described as earth-shattering, can it?
No, not now we've packed it in anyway.
I thought you'd come to see the error of your ways in time.
It's nothing to do with the error of our ways, Mrs. Walker. You can blame it on the anti-social legal system. It's against the people, that's what it is, against the people.
Only those people who break the law, Mr. Yates. As I should think you realise by now.
What harm were we doing? Just tell me that. What harm were we doing? We were improving the quality of life.
You'd have thought this new government would have been a bit more sympathetic, though, wouldn't you? Know what I mean? Private enterprise and that.
You've got a smile lurking behind that remark, Squire. Forget it. Because you're dead right, that's exactly what it was. Private enterprise of the highest order. You know what happens in this fair country when you have a bit of enterprise, don't you? You get a sock in the mouth and it doesn't matter whose knickers are hanging up in number 10.
Are you a political animal, Mrs. Sharples?
Nay, far from it, lass.
Me neither. I think I belong to one of the two major parties, and then the other side says something I agree with, and I'm back where I started. One of the eternal don't knows.
Yes, I think I'd have put you down for one of those.
Have you out left to eat, Fred?
Do us a favour, Len, this time of day.
What's up, short of a wife?
You can have his for a quid.
I'll tell you what, I'll give him more than a quid.
Well, can't you fry yourself something? You've got a frying pan, haven't you?
Yeah, I burnt the flaming thing, haven't I?
Well, unburn it then. Get a Brillo pad or something, you know.
Can't be bothered.
Hey, there's a new Indian opened in Rosamond Street, you know, between the bookies and the undertakers.
What's it like, any good?
Well, the grub's not up so much, but there's some cracking Judies serving it.
Give it a whirl, eh? Might as well try everything once.
Yeah.
See you in a bit. See you,
See you,
Len.
Kim. Cheers.
His missus is missing nothing, is she?
She's a solid cross between Barbara Carter and the Queen Mother, with a touch of the Anna Needles.
Who's Anna Neagle?
Go on, they must have told you about her at school. Hey, fill my glass up, chicken. It makes a lovely change.
For you, anything.
Just because I'm a barmaid, I suppose you're getting all sorts of ideas.
No, would I?
I should flip it up, so.
I'd see a doctor about that.
About what?
Your left hand. It's got a will of its own.
That's never my hand, is it?
Hit it with that bottle and find out.
Is that right, then? You're a cabaret star?
Bet. Is that right? Am I a cabaret star?
Is that right? You've heard of Shirley Bassey, haven't you?
Yeah.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Rita Fairclough.
Yeah.
They'll go far, these two.
Hey, and they can start as soon as they like.
Give us a song, then.
Oh,
Right, I know. Give us one of Gracie Fields.
Gracie who? Are they cheeky?
Give them Sally and put them out the window. Oh, hang on. Let me see if it's raining. No, you're all right. Go on.
What's that got to do with it?
What? She lifts the roof off with this one. Right, ready when you are, Gracie, love.
All right, here we go. Sally, right on our alley. Oh, yeah, down. When skies are grey, you're beguiling. When skies are grey, you're beguiling. And when they're blue, you're still smiling. And when they're blue, you're still smiling. I needed that.
Hey, come on, let's have another one. Now, I know, how about the biggest aspirator in the world?
Listen, we don't want the story of your life. Now, come on, it's been a long, hard day, and I'm ready for bed. Let's be having you.
Aye, me and all.
Come on, let's be having you.
What? Well, you're not really going to chuck us out, are you?
I am, you know.
It's a bit wet and cold out there.
Never mind, you're big and strong.
See you tomorrow, will we?
I shouldn't be at all surprised. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, kid.
My mum's watching.
I'll give her a kiss and all.
Go on, do as she says.
Well, if you want anything in the night,
Good night.
see you.
Hey, that were easier than I thought. Mine were a bit soppy, but yours were a right 'un, weren't he? He thought all he had to do was snap his fingers and you'd have done anything for him.
I would, actually.
Gareth, just 'cause I'm your fiancé don't mean to say we can't have a serious conversation.
Yeah, it does. I read it somewhere. It said when you're engaged, you've got to kiss your bird every 14.5 seconds.
Where'd you read that? In some motorcycle magazine. Anyway, I'm not your bird, I'm your fiancé.
Oh, it said that and all. It said kiss your fiancé.
Oh, look at that. That's what I want, so you'd better get saving up.
They're about 60,000 then.
Is that all? We'll have to.
Carry on with what you're doing, I'm not looking. Hey, where did Elsie leave that Dinah Dawes book?
Under a pillar.
Oh, trust her. Hey, you're not making a cup of coffee later on, are you?
I might. Why?
Will you bring us one up? I remember you in me will.
I'll see. Go to bed.
Oh, well, good night, young lovers.
Right, give us a kiss. Your 14.5 seconds are up.
No! Elsie will be back in a minute. Just pay attention to what I'm saying, will you? That's the kind of kitchen I want.
Kids today, they want everything. I remember when we first set up when we got wed. 2 furnished rooms off the Bolton Road. And all we had in the world was a box of fish knives and forks, box of Swan Vestas, and a bottle of ginger ale. Don't ask me why the ginger ale.
Well, didn't you get no wedding presents?
Wedding presents? Who from? My parents were dead set against it, and he had nobody that had known him. So all we got was the fish fox from Dorothy Greenhouse.
Dorothy Green? I don't think I know her, do I?
No, you wouldn't. She was my one-time friend and witness. He had to drag in his out of the street. Hey, when I think about them fish knives and forks, I don't think we ever had them out of the box. You see, he hated fish. I think it was something to do with being a sailor.
I'll tell you what, Bert went out like that. Do you know, he would not get married until we had a fully furnished home of his own. Mind you, he were only a two and two down, but still...
Well, I never had a Bert, you see. They were either no good or too good. I mean, too good for their own good, not too good for me.
No, we're thinking that you thought more of yourself than that.
Too true, kid. Are you having another?
No, not here, love. I'll tell you what, I could murder a cup of tea, though. Hey, why don't you come back? Our Brian's out and Bert's round at your place, isn't he?
Yeah, that's if they've not gone out. Come on, kid, let's go. Oh, first sign of the slippery slope, that is, dashing in on the last 10 minutes.
Well, at least you could say that we haven't been here all night, unlike some we could name.
I've not been here all night.
No, Mrs. Sharples, I don't suppose you have. I was just making...
Good night.
Good night.
That'll teach you to keep your big gob shut.
Shh! Put that light out. What's up? There's somebody out there, prowling. Well, open curtains, see if you can see anything. They've got a torch. It's all right, they've gone. Put that light on. Who were it? Oh, I'll bet I knew it was. I bet with them 2 folks off that vegetable cart at dinner time. And I'm not surprised either. You give them every encouragement.
Get away. All I said when I know me onions.
It was the way you said it. And them 2 aren't like Elliot and Tony, you know. Anything they wanted, they'd take. Did I lock that front door?
Yeah. Do you fancy a brandy?
Well, I may as get used to idea. He set his heart on that girl.
Well, it could do a lot worse. She's a nice little girl, this girl. And it'd do her good to have a proper family around her.
Well, she's not had much of one of them, I'll grant you that.
No, she hasn't. She's had a few knocks, bless her. Why is it always the ones who can't fight back get the clobbering? I think it must be the innocence that attracts the rotters. You know, like that manager at Sylvia's. Used to be the boutique before Mike took it over.
Oh, what about him?
Oh, shows you what swines they are. Promised her everything and left her flat.
Well, they could get away, do you mean?
Oh, that would have been difficult, seeing as who was married already.
Oh. You were married?
Well, she didn't know poor lamb, did she? Led her right up the garden path, he did. You see, that's why she needs somebody like Brian. Do her a power of good, he will.
Have another look outside.
I can't see anything.
It could have just been a couple of drunks, you know. Yeah.
Well, it's clear enough now. Oh, my God!
Who is it?
How the hell do I know?
My heart's going 16 to flaming dozen.
Well, I think mine stopped. Who is it?
It's us.
What do you want?
Open the door, we'll tell you.
Well, they're a damn sight better than flaming prowlers.
Where is it? What do you want?
They're never going to believe this. You're never going to believe this, but we've lost the key of our caravan. We can't get in.
Well, what do you want us to do about it?
The what? Well, he's chucking it down out there.
Hey, did you see anybody prowling about with a torch?
What? Oh, aye. Ah, we did. Yeah, there was someone there. They're still there.
No, you two just stop there. Come here.
Never saw anybody. It was us. It was my torch.
Put it away, you Burke. Look, you're a nice lad, Alec, but you're a bit slow on the uptake.
Well, which would you rather have? Them or t'other two? Well, we've no choice, have we? At least we can handle them. Right, that's it then. Right. I just hope we're not making a terrible mistake. Come on. Right. There's a couple of bunk beds you can have at night now. Just make sure you hang them wet clothes up properly.
We couldn't ask for more.
Well, put it another way, Chuck. You don't.
How was the grub at the Indian?
Flaming hot, mate. I had curried curry.
You fellas, why don't you admit it that without your wives you're hopeless? Why don't you get down to that caravan and get yourself a decent meal?
All right, don't shout. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up early tomorrow morning and get up there for breakfast.
Thank goodness for that. Now perhaps we can get a bit of peace and quiet.
Miss me tonight.
Put glass on.
Are you sorry?
Yeah.
Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again?
Oh.
Are you lonesome tonight, my dear?
What? You get him first. Go on. No, you get near window. I'm not going near window. No, come on. No, you go in there. The hedgehogs could get through that gap. Never mind, hedgehog. I'm older than you tonight. Get in. Chin up. I'm up, chin up. Oh. Night. Did I tell you about my sleepwalking? Just you try it, Lynch. Good job we got plenty of baiting in. Good night.
Night, night, Rita.
Switch light out.
Oh, well.
What they up to? I don't know, but they're definitely up. Yes?
Good morning too, ladies.
Oh, come on in.
Good morning, ladies.
What's all this? Now, come on, Rita. You can't shout at them for this. It's a damn sight better than we get at home. I'll put it down.
All right here, is it?
Yes, thank you.
Sleep well, did you?
Not bad, seeing as I had one eye open.
And how about you, darling?
I couldn't stop dreaming.
Oh, me and all.
How many sugars do you have, Lynch? Just the one spoonful.
We yet decided not to assume anything. So we brought the sugar and the milk in.
Very wise.
I have decided that we are going to get to know each other slowly, but very well.
Oh.
Well, that goes for me, too.
Well, let's say you might have the inclination, love, but I doubt if you'll have the time.
I know what you were going to say. You were going to say, now, why don't you two nice lads go you get yourselves a cup of tea and come back in here and we'll have a nice cosy chat.
Exactly.
Right. Well, come on, Keegan, get the kettle on.
You daft devil. Well, what's the harm in that? We're not up to now. You've put paid to that. Up to nout? Up to nout? Both of us in night dresses, two strange fellas in bedroom, and we're up to nout? You try telling that to Ina Sharples. Or somebody else I could mention. What the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. Do you know what Len gets up to when he's away from home? No. No. And he won't know either, because I won't be telling him. Now pass me that lacquer.
That time and all.
Hey, who making all that racket in the street this morning early on?
Len Fairclough and that clapped out van of his.
Oh, starting early, is he?
He's not working. He's off to Morecambe to see his missus.
Oh.
Well, seeing as I'm only one working this morning, I better go and earn something. Have you decided what you're going to do?
Hey, Brian, do you fancy taking a look at Lanky? They're playing Worcester at Southport. Be a good run out.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Unless you'd rather go with Gail. I mean, I don't mind if you'd rather go with Gail,
Nah,
you know.
she'd have to ask for the day off. Anyway, I don't think she likes cricket.
Yeah.
I bet that's not all you don't know about her. I'm only thinking.
Ah, well, you know what thought did, don't you? Tony thought it did.
You're not the only one as knows sayings, you know.
Oh, yeah? Go on.
Be sure your sins will find you out.
Very good.
That's a great smell.
So it should be. It's £3 a bottle.
I mean, the bacon.
Even the best of them are idiots. What's it like outside? Ah, lovely. It's a bit on the strong side, though. Is that table set? Certainly. It's like a little palace, it is.
We'll go.
What's up? Have you never seen a bottle of milk before?
That's the greatest smell in the world. Hey, have you left a bottle at number 17, Jack?
Who the hell are these two?
Who the hell are you?
Well, I'm not the flaming milkman for a start, but I could be her husband.
Now, look, Len.
This had better be very good.
Oh, it is, Len. It is. It's very, very good, honestly. Isn't it? Yes. There's a perfectly simple explanation.
Well, let's be hearing it. But don't run away with the idea that I'm a perfectly simple fella.
And no scarving off halfway through morning, you know. You're a full-time shopkeeper now, and don't you forget it.
Yes, ma'am.
You do enjoy it, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm not one of them that turns their nose up at service. That's the trouble with this country. People seem to think that if you give a service, you've got no pride. Well, that's rubbish. You can take a pride in any job you do, and that includes public service.
I'm not a union meeting, love. I'm your wife.
Yeah, no. It's the same at post office, though. It used to be you could use a bit of initiative. Now you've got to look at flipping regulations if you want to blow your nose.
Well, I can understand it, but, you know, changing your job because you don't like what you're doing's one thing. But you've got to like what you're going to do, otherwise you're back where you started, aren't you?
Oh, give me patience. What have I just said about public service?
As long as you enjoy it.
Well, I do, so be told. Good morning, Mrs. Sharples. What can we do for you?
Oh, it's all right. It's his first day full-time. He's making an impression.
By heck he is. Do you think I could have a quarter of tea, or do I have the fanfare of trumpets as well?
It's all right, Mrs. Sharples. You'll not put me down. This is the first day of a new life, and it feels great.
Post office been good to you?
Who are you?
Go on. Tell her about it.
Yeah, well, there's two possibilities, you see. They could offer me an ordinary early retirement. That means I get about, what, $1,800 a year pension and a gratuity of about $5,500. But I'd have to wait till I was 60 for both of those. Now then, they could offer me a medical retirement, and that's better. I'd get £2,000 a year pension, and then I'd get, $6,000 as a gratuity in a lump sum. And I get it at the same time, you see, right now. I mean, either way, it's better than a kick in the teeth.
Ah, come it is. Well, were you Postmaster General?
No, as an assistant inspector. It's quite exalted, that, you know.
It must be. Anyway, I wish you every happiness in your new life.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sharples.
No need to go and tell her all our business.
Well, you told me to.
Not the figures, I didn't. There's no need to tell her how much.
Oh, flipping women. Can we do out to please you? Can we?
And you lost your key.
I lost our key, I keep telling you.
I know, I keep asking you.
Well, you'll get the same answer, no matter how many times you ask.
Oh, leave it, Len.
Leave it? I come down to the caravan and find my missus and her mate in their 90s with a couple of Romeos here who've just got up. And I'm not supposed to ask a couple of questions.
It's just the way they say.
It must have happened to you before, mate.
No, never.
Well, it happened to us, didn't it, Alec?
Yeah, it happened to us. We just had a couple of drinks, that's all.
We met up with them yesterday afternoon. We asked them to come for a drink. They came, we chatted, and at 10:30 I asked them to leave, and they did.
Just like that?
She did, Len. I remember it well. I've got to be very honest. If it had been up to me, they could have stayed, but, well, Rita were adamant, weren't you, love, adamant?
Oh, let him believe what he wants.
The hell are you talking about? They could have stayed. They're here.
Oh, yes, but you see, they came back after they'd lost the key. Well, we wouldn't have let them in then, you see, but there were these prowlers around.
Oh, prowlers, yeah.
Oh, all right. So you want to know what happened? Right, I'll tell you. This here is my lover. We have been having a raging affair for the last 15 years. Only I don't see a lot of him because he lives in Australia, don't you, Chuck? And when I knew we were coming up here, I phoned Australia because it tells you it's cheap to on the television. Isn't that right, Chuck? And him and his mates, they jumped in the canoe and they paddled all the way up here. And we were all set to have a raging orgy, weren't we, Chuck? Only we hadn't got started when you rode up. Now go and feed your flaming horse.
It's not true, you know. You two had better get lost. The pair of you.
Look, it could have happened to you, mate. I mean, you'll laugh about it. Well, I'll see you.
All the same, love. I wish Bet were back. I mean, I know she talks a lot, but she's a good grafter, you know.
Oh, Rita's the same. I mean, for all she's the boss's wife, she always does a fair share. And a lot wouldn't.
Well, there aren't many like Rita, you know. I mean, take Mrs. Walker swanning it around like a fairy queen all day.
Where is she?
She's making the dinner. Mind you always get a fair midday meal here, you know. We'll say that about Mrs. Walker.
Hey, do you fancy a pie? Sausage roll, then?
No, I don't feel like what to eat.
Hey, that reminds me. What did you mean by that remark you said this morning?
What remark?
Be sure your sins will find you out. Having a go at me, will you?
No.
Who then?
Oh, drink your beer, but mind your business.
Who will we be like when we've been married 20 years? Go on. Who will we be like?
Stan and Hilda.
Stan and Hilda?
Yep.
Hey, Elsie. He says we'll be like Stan and Hilda when we've been married 20 years.
Well, he might just be right. You want to watch it?
Why do big fellas always marry little women?
Well, it takes a lot of hard work to get a fella up to that size, I can tell you.
Yeah, I know all that, but what you said about your sins finding you out. About Gail, was it?
Might have been.
All right, then. Keep it to yourself.
No, since you're asking me, I'll tell you.
No, I don't want to know now.
Bert, she's only had an affair with a married man. That innocent little child.
Who says?
Elsie Tanner. Mind you, it's not to her, is it? Happening every day at week to her sort.
She wouldn't say that. Not if Gail were the guilty party.
Oh, stop kidding yourself. Wife found out and started divorce proceedings. And there's little Miss Blue Eyes there cracking on she didn't know you were married.
Oh, well, happened she didn't.
Don't be so gullible, Bert. They always know.
Enjoy your lunch, sir.
Yes, Dan?
Well, I'll go and make beds.
I've decided. I'm staying on for a couple of days.
Thought you were too busy.
I was, but things are different now, aren't they?
No.
I'm still stopping. She's going.
Well, I'm not asking her to go.
I'm not asking her either. I'm telling her.
Well, do it nicely, Len.
Would I do it any other way?
Me headache. Forget it. And another thing, I won't have you telling our Brian.
Why not? He's my son. He's got a rights to know.
Well, maybe she's told him. Have you thought of that, clever clogs? Maybe he knows already.
Well, in that case, Bert, there'll be no harm done, will there?
Come on, campers, rise and shine. Cup of tea for you, Flower.
Just a minute.
Come on.
Oh, thanks, love.
All right, you.
Yeah.
Back to your own village, your own caravan, or wherever it is we trap you.
Hey, that's not funny, not at this time of morning.
What's all the row?
A row, Leonard. Those are the noises of the countryside you can hear. Mother Nature's own little soundtrack. Birds twittering, cows belching, caravanners calling to their mates, kids getting a crack to be going on with.
You're perky for this time at morning, aren't you?
Flaming perky. What time is it?
It's getting on for 8:30 now as well. Come on, up you up a bit, stop this tea while it's hot. I bet you don't get this in bed of a morning, do you?
Never you mind what he gets at home.
Well, I'll tell you what you're going to get this morning for your breakfast. Egg and bacon. It's in the frying pan now. How does that grab you?
Make sure my bacon's well done.
Charm itself. Tell you what, though. I'll give you a couple of eggs to keep your strength up.
Did you sleep well?
Yeah, not bad. I could do with another hour, though. What the hell did she wake us up at this time for? What do you think it is? Holiday camp?
We were mourning yesterday. Said you were gooseberrying.
Well, she is.
Coming between you and your second honeymoon.
Yeah. This caravan's too small for 3 of us, you know.
Well, you can't chuck her out. I invited her to come.
I'm not going to chuck her out. I'll just make damn sure she gets the message.
Well, you mustn't hurt her feelings.
I shall be very subtle.
Come on, Fairclough. Drag your backside out of that bed. I'm pouring your grub in trough.
Going to be subtle? Well, this I've got to see.
Well, I think of it, Elsie. This week's rent.
Oh, tell her.
Morning. Hi.
Oh, Susie, do you think I could have your rent? I could do with it, love.
Oh,
Can it wait for a bit?
Why?
No, why? I'm a bit short.
You and everybody else is the human condition. Gail manages to come up with hers every week.
But she's got a regular job,
So
hasn't she?
should you have, madam. Here, have a scan through last night's papers. There's one or two good jobs in there.
It's a waste of time.
Oh, and if you're sitting about kicking your heels all day, you might get us some dinner.
You're really picking on me this
I
morning,
am
aren't
not
you?
picking on you. I'm just trying to get you to do your fair share, that's all.
Don't make any dinner for me. I'm meeting Brian.
Oh, that reminds me, I meant to tell you. Something Ivy Tilsley said the other night.
What have I done now?
Oh, on the contrary. As a matter of fact, she actually said that you wouldn't make a bad daughter-in-law.
Honest?
Crossed me out and hope to die. Yeah. She must have decided to give up grabbing onto her little long-lost and lovely son.
That's great.
It's pathetic. Look at you. All chuffed because someone like Ivy grudgingly admits you've only got one head.
You wouldn't understand.
Thought you were looking for a job.
It's a waste of time. Oh, unless you're a plate welder, wherever that is. Hey, Elsie, what's a telephone canvasser?
Oh, it's answering the phone and things, you know, and asking if they want to part with the money.
Pleasant voice and good manner essential.
That lets you out.
Cow, I can be pleasant when I want to be. Hey, it says you work from home.
Oh, well, if you put an extension in upstairs, you could work all day lying on your back, couldn't you?
No, there's only one job a woman can do there.
Enough.
I better be going or else I'll be late. Thanks, Elsie. You made me day.
Oh, what? Because Ivy Tilsley said a few kind words about you at long last.
That's just why it's made me day.
Brian, come on, your breakfast's on table. I think you should have a word with him, Bert.
What about?
You know what about. That married fella that Gail were going with.
Now, look, Ivy, I am warning you. If you've got any sense, you'll just keep out of this. And another thing, you needn't start trying to get me to do your dirty work for you.
I'm only thinking about our Brian.
Are you? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about breaking them up, and that's all you're thinking. And look, if you've any sense, you'll forget you were even told.
If she were going out with a married man, I think it's important.
Look, it's all in the past, isn't it?
Oh, yes, and what else is in past, eh? I wonder.
Oh, come on. Gail's a nice girl.
Oh, yes, butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. Always knew it were too good to be
There
true.
you go again, you see. You don't know what the true facts were or nothing. Chiming in, just leave it, all right? Right? I'm off to work. Are these my sandwiches?
Yeah, ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Brian! About time and all. Come on, get this breakfast down here.
I haven't time, Mum. I'll just have a cup of tea.
Well, you can't have just that, love. I made you bacon and egg.
I haven't time, Mum.
Well, all right, I'll make it into a sandwich you can eat on the way to work, eh? I bet you're meeting Gail, eh? It's dinner time.
Yes, and what's wrong with that?
I didn't say there were aught wrong with it. There's no need to snap me head off.
Sorry.
I was just wondering, she's not been engaged before, has she, Gail?
Okay, of course she hasn't.
No, I'm wondering. She must have been out with other lads, though, before.
Of course she has one or two. Nobody serious, though, before me. Look, I'll have to go. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Mind how you go.
2p love change. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ta-ta.
You know, you do far too much in here, love.
Yeah. Now you're here full time, I'll not have to, will I?
Oh, yeah, it'll help me being here. But, I mean, you work far harder than you should, you know.
How do you mean?
Well, Ernie just now, he wanted £3 of potatoes, right? So, you go to the sack, then you're back to the scales. You haven't got enough potatoes, or too many, another trip back to the sack again.
Well, you might call it a trip. It's only a cock stride.
It adds up, love. You work out how much ground you cover in a day.
Yeah, I know I can feel my feet at bedtime.
Of course you can, you're walking miles. You see, you've got to use your head to save your legs. It all works out to two things in work, time and motion.
Yeah, well, it'll work in a factory, love, but not in here.
Oh, yes, and I know what I'm talking about, because I've seen a lot of it. Here, properly applied in here, it could save you a lot of work.
I don't think so.
People are always prejudiced against time and motion, you know. They think it's some sort of a threat. Anyway, don't you worry about it, love. You've got me to worry about it now.
I don't want you worrying, Alf.
Yeah, well, I've been weighing up how you got things laid out in here, you know.
Well, it's all nice and handy. Do you not think I run things right or something?
Of course you do. You make a marvellous job of it, love. It's just that I can help you, you know.
I think things are all right as they are.
Yes, they are, love. Look, just leave it with me, all right?
It's a nice bit of boiled ham, this. It is, isn't it? Just right with salad. Mind you, look at Len's face. He hates salad.
I don't hate it. It's all right for rabbits.
He doesn't think he's had a proper dinner unless it's hot. And there's taters with it. And if he can't have taters, he likes a lot of bread round it.
It's all right when you're on holiday, this kind of grub. When you're working, you want something with a bit of weft round it.
You're stopping for a full week, then? I mean, you're going to have a proper holiday now you're here, aren't you?
Oh, I'm gonna stop for the full week, Rita and me.
That vital job wasn't as vital as you thought, then?
Well, I just did enough to keep 'em going. I have to do that. I wasn't arguing, you know, about coming away on holiday. I mean, we needed to get away, her and me, Rita and me.
I know, I'm the same. It's great, though, isn't it? Here we all are. Nothing to do except please ourselves.
Do you know that we haven't had a holiday since we were on our honeymoon, Rita and me?
I've been telling you that for months.
Yeah. We haven't been away together all that time.
Well, you weren't shaping yourself then, Leonard. You want to get him to put his hand in his wallet a bit more, Rita.
It's not easy, love.
No. He's a love, though, isn't he? Open some cans of ale, Len. I mean, are we on our holidays, or aren't we?
Rita Fairclough's still an ugly, isn't she?
Yes, you know she is.
Well, if you're in here, who's minding cabin?
Oh, it's our half day. Just closed. Oh, as a matter of fact, I had a card from Rita this morning.
These comic postcards get smuttier, don't they?
Let's have a look, Duchess.
Oh, rouse your interest, talk of smut.
Well, you got to laugh, haven't you?
Well, I could do with a bit of honest vulgarity if it's witty, but that's just plain crude.
Yeah, Rita always seems to pick the worst one she can find. I think she thinks it embarrasses me.
Does it embarrass you?
Oh, yes, every time.
Well, if you don't mind my saying so, you look as though you could do with a holiday yourself.
Oh, I could. And I'm due for one, but... Well, I don't know if I shall go anywhere. It's not the money.
No, it's going on your own.
Well, yes, that's it. I mean, I can think of all sorts of faraway places I'd like to see, but it's not the same on your own.
Oh, but you might meet some nice people.
Yeah, but I'm not very outgoing, I think the word is. And, well, you know, it can be embarrassing when you're a woman on your own in hotels and places like that, because, well, men seem to think... Well, they seem to get the wrong impression.
Listen, I'll go on holiday with you, if you're stuck. Mind you, you'll have to pay all my expenses and buy me a new suit to start off with.
See what I mean, Mrs. Sharp?
You don't want to bowl with stupid fellas. You want to look on them as rain or flies. They serve a purpose, but it's very hard to believe what it is.
Rover's return, Mrs. Walker speaking. Hello, Len. This is a surprise. Having a good holiday, are you? Certainly picked the right weather, didn't you? Pardon? Oh, yes, certainly. For you, Mr. Fairclough wants to speak to you.
Me?
Go on.
All right. Ta. Hello, Len. Yeah? Yeah, sure, no danger. Yeah. Look, have a nice holiday. Yeah, all right. Ta-ra.
People obviously think that I installed the telephone more for their convenience than mine.
Sorry, Mrs. Walker, but it was very important. You see, Len's staying up there, and he wants me to run the business.
You?
Len's got great faith in me, Mrs. Walker.
I imagine he'd want more than faith. Hope and charity as well.
I say, Whack, I bet Len wants you to hang about in that yard, doesn't he? You know, watch it don't burn down, answer the phone and clean the cars he's out and that.
Yeah, something like that. It's still trust, though, isn't it?
You know, I can see Rita and Len in a caravan. I can see Rita and Bet, I think, but not all three of them all together.
They're a bit cramped.
By heck. I wonder half mine being Len, though, eh? Cramped up in that little hut on wheels there with them two.
Hey, it gets your hormones jumping, doesn't it?
Oh, I do agree with you about some men, Mrs. Sharples. And even if they have got a purpose, well, you'd think a better arrangement could have been devised.
Did you find the phone?
Yeah, it's only down the road. I managed to get onto Eddie Yates. He was supping in the Rovers, as usual.
How is everybody?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Oh, I'd have wanted to know all latest if that had been me. How Annie Walker's coping without me. Who's been barred and why. A blow-by-blow account of everything that's happened.
She's really missing the Rovers. I can see that. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it, Rita?
What's obvious, Lem?
I mean, she can't bear to be away from the pub.
Well, I don't know. Let's ask her. Bet, do you miss the Rovers?
Well, there are times. Not often. It's a bit like having your leg amputated. They reckon you can still feel your toes itching now and again.
It's homesickness, love. I tell you what I'll do. I'll run you over to Morecambe. You can have an hour on the front, eh, and buy a few little souvenirs and all that kind of thing. And then I'll run you over to the station.
Do you mean police station?
I think there's a train round about 2:30. Hey, just think you can walk into the Rovers just about opening time. Give them all a big surprise.
Yeah, I could, couldn't I? Yeah. No, it's nice of you, Lem, but I think I'll stay.
But I was...
No, honestly. I know you think I'm not enjoying myself, but I am, really.
Of course you are, love. I know that.
Yeah, so give over worrying about me not having a good time, because I am. Hey, up a minute. Since you came, have you washed any pots?
No, I haven't.
No, I thought not. Well, it's definitely your turn now.
It's nice here, isn't it?
That's great. Were you wafted here from paradise?
No, Dawson's Cafe.
Here, you going to finish that lasagna?
No, I've had enough. Can you eat it?
Of course I can. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you, what you cooking like?
Terrific. I'm really good at it.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Yeah. Anyway, fellas always think nobody cooks as good as their mum, so you just have to lump it.
Well, she aren't mine. There's always a chippy. Here, I've been thinking, me mum, she's, seems to have calmed down a lot lately. About you and me, I mean.
Yeah, Elsie was saying she said she more or less didn't mind having me for a daughter-in-law.
Well, I was wondering, what were you hanging about for? I mean, what's so great about long engagements?
Nothing.
Well, so why don't we take the plunge?
Get married.
Engaged couples do that, I believe. How are you fixed?
When?
Tomorrow, next week, you name it.
All right. We'll get married.
You got what?
You know, the job in the paper, the phone canvassing.
Kid, that's smashing. I'm ever so pleased. No, I really am pleased. Not just because I got a chance to get me rent back.
Well, listen, there were half a dozen girls after it, and he gave it to me and this other one. I reckon he fancied me, but then I don't blame him. Anyway, I start tomorrow, and they give you these big lists, and you phone all the people and do the patter.
Well, what you doing?
Selling dancing lessons.
You're having me on.
No, I'm not, but that's just for now. It'll be something different in a week or two.
Well, what's the money like?
Well, the basic's not very good, to be honest, but there's a bonus if enough of the people you phone up become customers. As I say, I start tomorrow and I work from home.
Hey, just a minute. What about my phone bills? I mean, it's bad enough with you and Gail on the end of the phone all the
Your tights in a twist. They pay for the calls.
Ah, we'll see that they do. Hey, up. What's all this excitement?
Well, I'm just dashing back to work, but I thought I'd pop in so you'd be the first to know.
Know what?
Me and Brian, we decided we're not waiting any longer. We're getting married.
When?
Soon as we can, sometime next month.
Oh, kid, that's smashing. Oh, I think that's marvellous news. I'm ever so pleased for you. And I wish you all the happiness in the world. Isn't that marvellous, Susie?
Oh, yeah. Terrific. If you like that sort of thing. No, it's smashing. I hope it works out for you. It will.
Well, come on, let's have the rest of it. I mean, when is it to be? Are we invited? And when do we buy the new frocks?
Of course you're invited. I don't know where we're having it yet. We thought his mum and dad might fancy a church too.
Well, of course they will. They're Catholics, aren't they?
Yeah, well, if they do, it's all right by me. We're going round to discuss it with them.
Ivy doesn't know yet.
No, we'll tell her tonight.
Now I know you're really in love. You're going to have Ivy Tilsley as a mother-in-law.
Oh, it started to rain. Wouldn't you know it, eh?
Well, of course it started to rain. Now we're dolled up, ready to go out. Of course it started to rain.
Well, we could always get pictures. I noticed in local paper they've got Love Story on again.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh, it's terrific. When she dies, you'll sob your heart out.
I'm not sitting through any soppy picture.
Hey, there's us to think about, you know. Have you any suggestions?
Well, it's very difficult, isn't it, with three of you?
We could always go for a drive.
Why, in our rotten old van? You must be joking.
Hey, I think you've got visitors. Your boyfriends.
They weren't our boyfriends.
I wish one of them were, mind you. Come on in, lads, before you get soaked.
Oh, all right weather for ducks, isn't it?
Thought you girls might be fed up on your own. Oh, hello there.
I do.
We wondered if there was anything you wanted while we're in town. We're going fishing, see. But if there's anything you want while we're in town, well...
It's no trouble.
No, thank you all the same. Len's here now. We've got the van. Thank you.
Decided to stop on then, did you?
I thought I'd better you. Hey, you haven't got a spare rod, have you?
I reckon we could dig one up for you. You do a bit, do you?
Well, it's a long time since, you know.
Oh, you never lose it. You're welcome to come if you fancy it.
Right.
Hey, Arnold. Here's the van keys. You go to the pictures and have a good cry. I'll see you later.
Yesterday, they were supposed to be our boyfriends. Now they're Len's boyfriends.
Tell me something. Why do we have to go up pictures and pay money to have a good cry when we can stay here and have one for nothing?
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Mr. Tilsley.
Hello, lovey. Do you fancy a cup of tea?
Oh, not if you don't mind. I drink tea all day at the cafe.
Aye, of course you do. Well, come on, sit you down anyway.
Where's Mum? She's not in yet?
No, she's been in and gone out. She's off to bingo with Ida and Vera. Hey, your supper's in the oven.
Yeah, great. We wanted to tell you something, you see.
Oh, yeah?
Are you telling him?
No, you tell him.
What's up? Something wrong?
No, just the opposite. We decided we're getting married. We don't want to hang about any longer.
Well, when?
Sometime next month.
Well, I'm very pleased. Best of luck to both of you.
Thanks, Dad.
I told you when you first got engaged, didn't I? You couldn't be getting a nicer girl.
Thanks, Mr. Tilsley.
Hey, you'd have to get out calling me Mr. Tilsley, won't you? It'll be Bert to you, love.
I'm really glad you're pleased.
I'm more than pleased. Right, well, when's the big day?
Well, we wanted to talk to you and Mum about that.
We thought we'd see what you and Ivy wanted.
Well, I suppose Ivy will be in favour of one of them big church jobs, you know what I mean? But it's not up to Ivy and me, is it? It's what you two want.
Yeah, but if that's what you want, that's all right by us.
Well, we'll have to talk about that. Hey, you better leave me to tell your mother when she comes home.
Yeah, OK. Well, we're going for a drink or two to celebrate. Do you want to come?
No, I'll only get under your feet. Go on, you two get off. Enjoy yourselves.
OK, thanks, Dad. See ya.
Ta-ra, Mr. Til... Bert.
Ta-ra, love.
There we are, love. Can you manage that? Hang on, I'll open the door for you.
Good, thanks, love.
There we are. Ta-ra.
Hello, Fly. Have you got any tomato sauce?
I certainly have.
Great. Only as quick as you can. I've got fish and chips on the table next door, and Hilda's run out of tomato sauce.
I've got some.
Only I can't stand fish and chips without tomato sauce. I mean, I can do without salt and vinegar, but I can't stand them without tomato sauce.
Had a couple of crates delivered. They were on this ship. Alf,
What's up?
tomato sauce.
What about it? I mean, pie and chips and pudding and chips. Now, I wouldn't have tomato sauce on them.
I know we've got some. There were some bottles on here.
Oh, yeah, I moved them.
Moved them? Whatever for?
I did tell you they're on the table going cold.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about this morning, time of motion efficiency.
Well, I wish you'd told me. When did you move?
When you were having your nap. I moved quite a few things, actually.
Excuse me, as I was saying, I've got fish and chips next door going cold, and Stan Ogden's probably making free with them.
Well, I don't know where they are. You better serve him.
Yeah, well, you see, I thought I'd move all the things that you ask for frequently nearer the counter, and the other things to other parts.
Look, any brand will do.
Now, they were on this shelf.
No, they weren't. They were on that shelf.
Were they? Oh, yeah, they were. And I thought they'd be better over...
Over where?
That's what I'm trying to think. Look, will you stop mithering a minute?
Hello, love. I wasn't asleep.
Well, you should have gone into bed, love. Is our Brian in?
No, he's been in and gone out with Gail. They're off celebrating.
What do you mean? What's them two got to celebrate?
Well, they called round here early on. They were hoping to see you.
What do you mean? What's going off?
Well, they've decided that they want to get wed pretty soon, so they've settled on next month.
They've what?
Oh, come on, Ivy. Look, they are engaged. I mean, it was bound to happen.
Has our Brian gone and done something stupid?
Yeah, what? Has he eckers like woman? What's up with you? Look, they just want to get married.
Well, he'll have to be told, Bert. He's got a right to know about that chap that Gail were going out with, that married fella, that Thornley.
Oh, come on, Ivy. Don't be so daft.
Bert is entitled to know.
Now, look, I'm telling you for the last time, you'll just forget about that Thornley fella. He's got nothing to do with our Brian, and more important, he's got nothing to do with you, so just drop it. That Gail's a very nice girl, and our Brian's very fond of her, so don't you start to try and wreck it.
I shan't be wrecking anything, don't worry. It's our Brian. He's wrecking his life.
I've told you you're wrong. Now, I mean it. Just you keep your mouth shut.
To say you left on spur at moment, you did a bit of packing, didn't you?
Eh?
Dressing gown, pyjamas. Thought you said you weren't sure whether you were stopping or not.
I like to come prepared for everything. Oh, heck.
One of them noisy ones.
Let me say that again. Hey, you look lovely.
Oh, darling.
Night-night, Rita. Night-night, Len.
Night-night, Bet.
Bloody walls are like paper in here.
Well, it's only a caravan.
You'd have had a better holiday at home.
Len, open window for me, love.
Oh, heck. Oh, heck. Up you go. Oh.
I thought you were tired, Fairclough.
Hi, Mum. thought you'd been in bed by now.
Have you had out to eat?
Yeah, we had some fish and chips. Well, did Dad tell you?
What about?
Oh, come on, Mum. I bet he told you. Me and Gail.
Who decided that then, Brian? That's what I want to know.
We both did. Well, it was my idea, as a matter of fact. Oh, come on, Mum. Be pleased for me. Eh?
Look, you're a grown lad, Brian, so you must decide what you want to do. But I reckon there's things that you don't know about that you ought to know about.
What do you mean?
I can't tell you. I'm not supposed to. I've had my orders.
What about? Come on, Mum. What you on about?
Ask Gail, Brian. Ask her to tell you about a fella called Roy Thornley.
Who's he?
You'll have to ask her that. I'm going to bed.
I still don't see what we have to get up at crack of flaming dawn for. You're supposed to come back from your holidays feeling great, not flaming exhausted.
You could have come back by flaming train.
Well, I don't mind getting up and coming back early because it gives you a chance to get your washing done. And I want to find out what that Mavis has been up to while I've been away.
Sold cabin and absconded to the Amazon proceeds, if she's any sense.
I should be so lucky.
Oh, well.
Hey! God blimey, fair club. How do you do it at your age, eh? 2 birds at once on a dirty weekend. I couldn't manage it, I tell you.
You couldn't even manage one, lover.
I was going to offer to carry a case, but I think I'll leave it to Superman.
All right, cut the jokes, mate. They won't kill you to carry this for it.
Anything to oblige. I'd hate to be the one to cast a cloud on a perfect holiday. At least, I take it was a perfect holiday.
Well?
Well, what?
Are you going to ask her about that matter?
I've no idea.
Well, I think you're a fool if you don't, Brian.
Well, maybe I'm an even bigger fool if I listen to some old biddy's gossip.
It's not gossip. It's come straight from Elsie Tanner's mouth.
What's come straight from Elsie Tanner's mouth?
I'm not prepared to tell you that, because I think you should ask Gail herself, hear what her version is. I'm only trying to be fair, love.
Like hell you are.
And don't give me none of your lip, Brian. I'm only looking after your interests. Anyway, there might be nothing in it. All I'm saying is ask Gail about a fella called Thornley.
And that's all you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's enough.
What's up?
Oh, Dad, what is she going on about? Do you know?
What do you mean?
Well, she went on to me last night, then again this morning. Something about Gail and this fella called Thornley.
A flaming strangler.
You do know?
Well, not much, no. She's just trying to cause mischief. I warned her not to. What does she say?
She doesn't say, she just hints. She says I have to ask Gail about it myself.
Oh, well, I'd just let it drop if I were you, son.
I'd be glad to, but she flaming won't. Oh, Dad, can you tell me what it's all about?
Look, all I know is it was something in Gail's past. Something happened a long time ago, long before she met you. So there's no point in dragging it up now.
Go on, give us a sample of your sales talk. Sell Elsie a course in old-time dancing.
Oh, why me?
Who else do we know who go old-time dancing?
It's marvellous how some people's character can change once they've got the wedding date set.
Oh, roll on August Day. Be just you and me living in perfect harmony and peace, kid.
That'll be the day.
Hey, that reminds me. Haven't we left out discussing the most important topic about this wedding? Yeah, we're going round to Ivy and Bert's to discuss it one night this week. Ah, yeah. Now, I wouldn't have thought they'd have cared what I was wearing. What? Me bridesmaid's outfit. And if you've got any ideas about pale mauve taffeta, forget it. I was referring to whether it was in a church or a register office. That's what we've got to decide.
I should have thought you'd have wanted it in a church.
Yeah, well, it's up to his mum and dad, isn't it? Why is it it's you that's getting married? I know, but there's some religious problem. I don't want to upset him. Elsie, can you do anything with her?
Look, love, why don't you stop trying to please other people and please yourself for a change? After all, it's your wedding. With a bit of luck, you'll only do it once, so do it the way you want to do it.
I can't do that, Elsie. I can't just go treading over people's feelings. No, but they tread on yours, and they flaming well do. Look, you just get on with your telephoning there. Leave me wedding arrangements to me.
Speaking of that, who's going to pay for that lot?
The wedding?
Oh, Madam's new job.
I have told you, Elsie. I log the calls and give them to the dance studios. They've got it all organised. They're not a tin pot organisation. They've got places up and down the country.
Seems a funny way of earning a living to me.
Why is it? Dancing's the in thing. It gets more popular all the time, both from a social point of view and the point of view of keeping fit and healthy.
Oh, all right. Spares the patter. I'm not going to sign up as a go-go girl, not if you talk till you're blue in the face.
Anyway, who said anything about you being bridesmaid? Oh, talk about making friends and influencing people.
Oh, Rita. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, you shouldn't have.
Oh, give over. It's the least I could do. You playing Cinderella while I was part of the Morecambe jet set.
Oh, was it fabulous?
Well, it was a change, yes. Or it was a rest. But fabulous. Me, Bet and Len stuck in a caravan in the middle of a field. Fabulous. No.
Oh, I think holidays should give you memories you can treasure for the rest of your life. I mean, magic things.
All right, then. Give us your idea of the perfect holiday. And I want the uncut version.
Well, I'd be somewhere where it's hot and sunny, and I'd be lounging about in this little beach bar, and there'd be boats bobbing about in the harbour.
Boats?
Yes.
I know just the place. Trafford Docks.
I know, but you see...
Hello, Bet. Hi, thought. Can I have a double bitter lemon, please? I'm parched.
Well, how did it go?
Oh, not bad. But when you've been on the phone all morning, talking non-stop, you can hardly croak.
That'll be the day.
Here, how was Morecambe?
Crawling with fellas.
Oh, yes.
What? I had to fight him off. Mind you, there was one who was a bit special. He was somewhat in big business.
Oh, yeah, staying on a tin pot caravan site.
He was getting away from it all. Recuperating from the stresses of decision-making and high finance. Actually, in the end, one of his mates told me he was an out-of-work carpet fitter.
Don't you meet up with some con man?
I do, Chuck.
Why you cross?
No, not really, because you see, I told him I had a chain of hairdressing shops. And he was quite sweet, really. Then after him, there was Alec and Tony.
Oh, another two.
Well, Rita was there as well.
Oh, did she?
Have a good rest? She did. Just telling the girls, Len, how me and Rita stopped in caravan knitting every night. Till you joined us, that is.
Yes, you were just saying how you all had a marvellous time, how you've all booked for next year for a whole fortnight this time.
Is that right?
Well, I must say, you look a lot better than when you went away. All that rest and fresh air must have done you good.
Aye.
I take it you could have done quite happily with just the two of you.
What do you think?
Well, it's your own fault. You've only got yourself to blame. You should have organised it better. I mean, 2 is a very lovely number on holiday. Any more than
Can
that...
I get you a drink?
No, you can't, love. I've got to dash off. See you later. Drop. What's up with you? You look as if you've won the pools and forgot to post the coupon.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mrs. Tanner, there is something bothering me a bit.
Yeah?
Well, my mum says that you told her something about Gail and this fella called Thornley.
Oh, did she? What else did she say?
She said nothing. She said I have to ask Gail about it myself.
Well, in that case, you better, aren't you? But if I were you, I'd forget it.
Well, that's what my dad says, but now everybody's making such a mystery of it. Oh, look, I've got to know the truth, haven't I?
Well, if you feel like that about it, love, there's only one thing you can do.
Won't you tell me?
I can't, love. It's not my place. Gail's the only person to tell you about that. But look, I'll tell you something. When you ask her, if you ask her, just remember that you love her and trust her. It's now that matters, not yesterday, not the past. Just remember that, will you? For both your sakes.
Yeah, all right. But didn't I expressly tell you not to go blabbing that rubbish about Gail and that other fella to our Brian?
It wasn't rubbish, it was gospel.
Well, whatever it was, it happened a long time ago.
It still happened.
I told you last night. What good can it do? Stirring it all up again now.
It can show our Brian what sort of a girl she is.
Meaning?
Having affairs with married men.
One man, that's all. And she didn't even know he was married till it was too late.
He has the rights to know, Bert.
Oh, yeah. And I suppose you've got every rights going around making 2 nice young people as miserable as sin, have you?
Listen, if she's anything to say for herself, she'll have her chance. And our Brian's free to make his own mind up.
Well, not from where I'm sitting. Oh, why the hell couldn't you just for once have done as I said and kept your big mouth shut?
Because if anything unpleasant comes up, that's all you ever want to do, isn't it? Shut your flipping eyes to it.
Well, it's better than going around ruining other people's lives.
Oh, don't talk a load of rubbish, Bert.
You do realise this could stop the wedding, don't you? Or is that what this is all about?
Shut up and eat your dinner before it goes cold.
I don't want any of your rotten dinner.
No, I insist. The wedding cake's my present.
I've spoken to Mr. Dawson and it's all arranged. There'll be 3 tiers, and I thought pink and white, but whatever you say.
Oh, no. I know all white's traditional, but I think a bit of colour would be nice, don't you? I'm having pink rosebuds in my bouquet.
You're having a bouquet, then?
Oh, yeah, whether it's a church or a register office, you have to have flowers, don't you? Wedding's not a wedding unless the bride carries flowers. Afterwards, I can chuck them to Susie.
Oh, you'll be wasting your time there. Shouldn't think that friend of yours will be getting married for years yet, if ever.
That's just how she cracks on. If the right fella came along, she'd fall into his arms. Take it from me. It's what we all want deep down, isn't it? Nobody likes to be alone.
No, that's very true.
Oh, Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I think there's somebody who wants you to serve him.
Guess what? Emily's given us the wedding cake. She says we can have... Samantha, you're not poorly, are you?
No. Gail, there's something I want to ask you. I don't want to, but I've got to.
Right then. What is it?
Who was Roy Thornley?
Oh!
It's all right, Mrs. Bolton. Leave us for a minute. Gail, what is it? What's wrong?
It's over. It's over. I don't know what to do.
What's over? What are you talking about? Gail, now calm down and tell me.
A long time ago, years ago, I got involved with a fella, Roy Thornley.
Go on.
I was in love with him. It's the first time I've ever been in love. My first big romance.
You must have been very young.
I was. He was a lot older than me. I suppose at the time that was part of the attraction. I thought the world began and ended with him.
What happened?
He was married. His wife found out and threatened to cite me in divorce.
Oh, no, Gail.
I didn't know he was married, Emily. Honest to God, I didn't know till it was too late.
He let you think he was free. Oh, poor Gail, poor love. But it wasn't your fault. Nobody could blame you. It's a horrible experience to have to go through, but it wasn't your fault, Gail.
Can I convince Brian of that?
How did he find out?
I don't know. I can't face it, Emily. I can't, not now.
No, well, this isn't the time or the place. I'll talk to him.
Will you?
I'll tell him you'll see him later.
I will have to, I suppose.
Well, of course you will. You'll have to get it over with, and the sooner the better. Only once you've explained it to him just the way you did with me, he'll understand.
Will he, Emily?
If he loves you, he will.
How about a quick charge on it?
I do not give dancing lessons, I sell them.
Oh, pity. Could have done with improving my paso doble.
And boy, could it stand some improving.
He's very perky today, isn't he?
Ah, well, we're both perky, as a matter of fact. Things are going rather well, business-wise.
Business-wise, ye gods.
Now, don't you be rude to my minion. Otherwise, you won't be the first I'll invite for a ride in my new V-registered car.
Will this be a private party, or can anybody join in?
Oh, anyone can come. Everyone can come. In fact, the whole Mike Baldwin fan club can come. No, on second thoughts, I'd have to hire a coach for that, wouldn't I? A fleet of coaches.
What do you say? Offhand and without prejudice, he's got one hell of a tip about himself.
No, he just talks a lot.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Thanks.
Are you getting a new car?
Like you say, I talk a lot.
No, go on, but are you?
Well, it's an idea, isn't it, Sunshine? I mean, the overdraft to stand it. You're only young once. Beautiful birds, beautiful cars. That's what life's all about, isn't it?
Hello.
What are you doing here at this time?
Emily gave me half an hour off.
Oh,
I couldn't speak to you then. Not at the cafe.
I see.
You wanted to know about Roy Thornley.
That's right.
What have you heard?
Thought there was something between you.
I see. We had an affair. It's the only way I can put it, because that's what it was. I was head over heels in love with him, but
Go on.
he was married. Didn't they tell you that? I'm surprised. Well, he was. I'm trying to be straight with you, Brian, because I love you. And I think you deserve to know. Which is more than he did for me. I didn't know he was married because he didn't tell me. He was older than me. I never met anybody like him before. He took me to all the places I'd never been.
Give you a good time, in other words.
Brian, I'm not like that. You know I'm not. I'm just as happy doing the things with you, happier.
Look, I'm sorry I couldn't give her a good time. I'm surprised she's still stuck with me.
Brian, please. I love you.
Yeah, you loved him.
Yes, I loved him. It was infatuation, that's all it was. I was just a silly kid.
Yeah, but old enough to have an affair.
Does it matter now? I forgot him a long time ago. It's all over with. Brian!
All right, so she's admitted it. At least she was honest with you.
She had no choice, did she? Without the street knowing.
Did the Eckers like? It was only Elsie Tanner, as far as I can make out. And any road, it was a long time ago.
Everybody keeps saying that as though it makes a difference.
Well, doesn't it?
Not to me.
Do you know, son, I've got to admit it. I can't see what you're getting so steamed up about.
Can't you? You fall in love with a girl, you think she's sweet and innocent, and she cracks on you the first biggest thing ever in her life, and you suddenly find out a thing like this.
Oh, come on. Come on. I mean, I'm not exactly a supporter of the permissive society, but even your old dad knows times have changed. I mean, let's face it, there aren't many innocent brides about these days.
Oh, Dad.
Well, you needn't look so shocked. It's a fact of life, innit?
Well, maybe it is. Look, you don't enjoy finding out your fiance's been sleeping around with married men.
Do you know, you're just like your mother, exaggerating. It was only the one, and she's told you that, Gail.
Aye, she's told me lots of things.
Don't you believe her?
I don't know anymore.
And what gives you the right to be judge and jury? I'm sorry, son, but I just think you're being a little bit hypocritical about this. I mean, can you honestly claim that you've never done naught else but just kiss a lass?
Oh, that's different.
Hells bells, talk about double standards.
Well, never with anybody what were married.
But she didn't know he was married at the time, did she?
So she says.
So she says, so she says. Look, let's face it, in the end it comes to this, either you believe her or you don't. And either you love her or you don't. And either you forgive her or you don't. And only you can make your mind up about that.
Yeah, I know.
If I were you, son, I'd just put it all behind me. Come on. I mean, life's too short to make yourself miserable, give yourself all this aggro. It's the future you should be looking at, not the past.
I know you're right, Dad. You make a lot of sense. Only I'm not sure if I can.
What I'm telling you, sir, is you've won this week's Star Prize, a free tuition at our studios. And of course, it's up to you if you carry on with the tuition. I'm talking about dancing lessons, sir, as I'm sure you know. You what? You need a doctor, love. You're a nutcase.
Oh, what are them?
Creep.
Oh, have you had many?
One or two. Do you know, I'm fed up.
Come on, you can handle them.
Oh, it's not just that, Elsie. It's sitting here all day on me Todd, saying the same rubbish over and over again. What sort of a job is it, eh?
Well, if you're expecting an argument from me, you won't get one. I said it wasn't up to much in the first place. Oh, thank goodness we've got the two of you together. Now, what are you having for your teas? I've got some beef burgers in the fridge and I've got a pound of pork sausage here. So, what you don't have tonight, you can have tomorrow night.
I don't want nothing, thanks.
Oh, flipping heck. If it isn't one crisis in this house, it's another. What's up now?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Kate, no. She's had another lover's tiff, obviously.
Me and my big mouth.
Why, what have you said?
Well, I didn't say anything that was meant to do any harm, but I've got a horrible feeling it has.
They'll be all right. Can you send them spitting those two lovebirds up for long?
I can think of one thing that would.
What?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. Let's talk about you. So, you cheesed off after one day.
Do you blame me?
No, I don't. I'm just wondering, where'd you go from here?
Well, what I was thinking, Elsie, is if I took a proper modelling course, and got some decent jobs.
Yeah, well, them cost money, don't they?
Quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and you haven't got any, have you?
No. But I thought if I got the money from you, I could give it you back when I get the work in.
No chance.
Oh, Elsie.
Oh, come on, kid. It isn't that I wouldn't lend it to you if it wasn't a worthwhile idea, but it isn't, is it? It's just one of these pie-in-the-sky ideas. I mean, who earns a steady wage out of modelling? Every fool knows that nobody does. Only the very top girls make it, and then only for a few years. Now, I mean, frankly, do you really think you're good enough to earn a steady wage at that? Because I don't.
No.
Hey, there's a fella at work breeding budgies. Well, he said we can have one if we'd like one. I said I'd have to ask you, like, you know what I mean? Well, they're nice things, budgies. We could teach it to talk. Come on, City. Who's the pretty boy, then? Well, what do you think?
I don't like birds in house. They're unlucky.
That's ridiculous. Lots of people have birds as pets. You're not telling me they all have bad luck, are you?
Well, did you ask her? I'm speaking to you, our Brian. Answer me when you spoke to.
Ivy, shut up.
I will not shut up. I've got a right to know. Thing is, Lou, I mean, it's not just this one that we know about. How many more have there been that we don't know about?
Now, look, Ivy, I'm warning
leave it,
you.
Dad. Just leave it, eh?
Now are you satisfied?
No, I'm flaming well not. Bert, do you honestly think I'm enjoying this any more than you are? Do you think I like scenes like this in my own house? I like seeing our Brian unhappy. Better as a few weeks of being miserable than married to a long girl and having a lifetime of it.
But you're not giving her a chance, love.
I'm giving her every chance, Bert. I just wanted to tell truth. I wanted to be honest with him. That's least she can do. Not marry him under false pretences. And if you cared about him at all,
Of course I care about him, you stupid bitch.
Who are you calling names?
Well, what else are you if you're not stupid? Stirring all this trouble up, going on with yourself.
I'm a mother, Bert. That's what I am. And if you were half of a father, you'd just saying you'd want to look after him and protect him.
But he's not a child, for God's sake. He's a man, isn't he? A man.
He still wants protecting. Brian, where are you going?
I'm off.
Off where, son?
I'm leaving. I'm sorry, Dad, but I just can't live here no longer.
Honest, I don't know how you can sit there stuffing your face like that. I don't.
Well, starving myself's not going to bring our Brian back home, is it?
Might have known how much you'll be bothered.
Of course I'm bothered.
Well, why didn't you do something to stop him, then?
Well, there wasn't much point in the mood he was in, was there? And before you start blaming me, just you think on who it was got him to walk out in the first place.
I only wanted to know if he'd asked Gail about her and that fella. Seems a perfectly reasonable question to me.
Ah, well, it didn't to him. I mean, he made that perfectly plain.
Bert, all I want to do is to stop him from making the biggest mistake of his life. And he'll thank me for it when he's had time to think about it. You mark my words.
Oh, aye. He showed you how much he thanked you for it last night, didn't he? He walked out.
Yeah. Well, sitting here's not going to bring him back, is it?
Now where you off?
I'm going to find him, Bert. That's where I'm off. I'll try and talk some sense into him.
Look, sit down.
I've got to find him, Bert.
Look, I said sit down. If anybody better go looking for him, it better be me. I'd better do it.
Oh, yes, and what do you think you can say to him that I can't?
Quite a lot, as it so happens. At least he's still talking to me. Morning, love.
Hello, Bert.
Look, I'm sorry to bother you, but I was just wondering, have you seen out of our Brian?
Not this morning, we haven't. They've had another of those tiffs, haven't they?
Yeah, I know, but that's not the half of it.
What do you mean?
Well, he walked out last night. We haven't seen him since.
Your Brian did?
Aye. Ivy's been on at him again about him and Gail, you know what I mean? Anyway, I reckon he just had enough, so he just walked out. Still, if you haven't seen him, love,
Well, it's...
Hello, Mr. Tilsley.
Hello, Gail Chuck.
What's up?
Well-
I think we ought to go inside a minute, love. Come on.
Right, all right.
What's the matter? It's not Brian, is it?
Aye, 'tis, love. He's walked out.
He's walked out.
He left home last night. Well, Ivy was on at him about you and that Thornley fella.
She was what?
And I reckon he took about as much as he could. He just got up and walked out. I thought he might have come round here. I didn't want to mention it, you know, love, but...
So that's how Brian found out. How the heck did she find out?
Shouldn't he be at work at this time, normally?
Yeah, I'm just going there now, but I were passing and I thought I'd call in on the off chance, but still, if he's not here... Right, I'll see you then.
Mr. Tilsley,
Yes, love?
you let me know if you find him.
Of course I will, Chuck.
Ivy, rotten Tilsley. I might have known. How the heck did she find out about me and Roy Thornley?
Gail, I'm sorry, love.
Nothing for you to be sorry about.
Oh, yes, there is. It was me that told her.
You told her?
Now, hang on a minute.
You told her? You're supposed to be on my side.
I was. I still am.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Ivy, I think you ought to know. That cow your Brian's thinking of marrying's had it off with a married fella.
Oh, Gail, love, it wasn't like that at all. I was just trying to help you out, that's all. She was going on about your engagement, and I was just trying to, well, appeal to her sense of decency.
She ain't got any.
I was just trying to get her to lay off you, that's all.
Oh, thanks a lot, Elsie. It looks like it's worked. She'll be doing that now, won't she? Seeing as I'm not likely to be taking her precious son off her anymore. Thanks a lot, Elsie.
Oh, hello, Elsie.
I want a word with you.
What to do?
Roy Thornley. I suppose that name does mean something to you.
Look, Elsie, not now. I'm out of my mind with worry over our Brian.
Look, what I've got to say to you, I'm going to say here and now, even if I have to say it out here.
Better come in. Here, he's not round at your place, is he, our Brian?
No, he's not. And I'll tell you something, Gail's no more idea where he is than you have. And I'm very surprised he's stuck it so long with you as a mother.
Oh, this news flaming talk, and you're a right one to give lessons on bringing kids up,
Oh, you
aren't
can
you?
say what you like about me. I've had enough stuff slung at me in my time to let it bounce off time and time again. But I've got a kid across that road breaking her heart, all because of you and your big mouth.
Now, listen here,
Now,
you.
listen to me. I told you about Roy Thornley and Gail just because I thought deep down inside you somewhere there was a spark of pity, a bit of decency. But you don't even know the meaning of the word.
No lad of mine is paying full price for shop soil goods without knowing exactly what he's getting.
Well, he could have asked if he'd have wanted to, like Gail could, without any pushing from you.
He's a right to know.
Oh, I see. Well, as a matter of interest, how many fellas did you go out with before you waltzed Bert up to the altar? How many did he have a right to know about? Get out! Don't worry, I'm going. But I'll tell you something. If I hear one word from you about Gail, I'll be round here and I'll tie your flaming tonsils together.
I'm sorry, but that's all we've got.
Oh, no, it's not what I want. Thanks, love.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, I've never fancied a caravan holiday, not like you had.
A week with Fairclough, you mean?
No, I mean just being in one place all the time, just, well, stuck there.
What's wrong with it?
No, just never fancied it, that's all.
Believe me, love, if the fella's right, the place doesn't matter.
Oh, there are other things in the world, you know.
Oh, go on, tell us.
I can see the attraction of a touring caravan holiday.
And I can see you've never been stuck behind one in a long line of traffic.
Just driving down the country lanes looking for some quiet spot to stay the night. Rita, just imagine waking up in the morning looking out of your window at a trickling mountain stream.
And not being able to open the door to turn gas on so you can have a cup of tea because that cow you saw last night turns out to be a bull. Riley, you are an incurable romantic.
Well, there's a romantic side to everything if you bother to look for it.
Well, if you feel that way, love, good luck to you. But while you're waiting for that white knight in shining armour to walk through that door, believe me, it catches up with us all in the end.
What does?
Reality. Hello, Mr. Tatlock. You left your horse outside.
What horse?
Oh, it's just Rita's little joke.
Well, I haven't got time for a joke. I'm after a record.
Ah, well, you've come to the right place. Now, anything in particular? We have big uns, small uns, some even have little O's in the middle.
Oh, well, I want some out at top 20.
Oh, which one?
I don't know, do I? If it's twins.
Oh, well, if you don't know, how the heck are we expected to know?
Well, I thought I'd have a listen to a few first. You have got them things as how you listen with ear, haven't you? You know, earphones.
They're not working, though, I'm afraid. They've been broken.
Damaged beyond repair by a coachload of old-age pensioners on their way back from seeing Greece.
Well, you don't expect me to out I haven't listened to, do you? Haven't you got a gramophone?
Well, yes.
Well, I can hear them on that, then.
Well, you could.
Go on, let him. We'll have no peace till he does. Go on.
Well, just this once, but I'm not making a habit of it.
I should hope not. And Mavis?
Yeah?
If this fella comes through the door in shining armour, I'll tell him you'll not be long.
Right?
Is that you, Elsie?
No, it's Father Christmas.
Oh.
What the heck are you doing here?
That's a rough guess. I'd say I was reading the paper.
Now, listen, madam, before you get too clever for your own good, I've had the sort of morning that you only come across once in a nightmare and my head's thumping fit to burst.
Sorry I spoke.
I thought you were supposed to be looking for a job.
There's nothing I fancy.
So you're quite content to sit there all morning reading the paper?
Why not?
I'll tell you why not, madam, because I'm paying for it, that's why not.
Well, if you're going to be like that about it.
And while we're on the subject, when did you last pay me any rent? A month ago? 6 weeks? I tell you, if you want to sit there on your flaming backside all day and read the paper, feel free to do so. But find somewhere else to do it, not here.
You won't?
You heard.
You wouldn't shut me out.
Just try me. You're fast becoming a luxury I can't afford.
I see.
Oh, look, love, there's bags of jobs in the newspaper. Anything would do for a nice, fit, healthy girl like you.
Not my kind of job, there isn't.
All right, then hurry up and find yourself your kind of job, and quick. Otherwise, this won't be your kind of home. Get me?
Well, now where you going?
I'm going to the Rovers to get myself a pie. I don't suppose you thought to put anything out for us? No.
And he phoned up here. Tony.
Not 10 minutes since.
Who's Tony when he's alive?
From Markham.
One of those fellas up in the caravan.
What, betting your missus? Oh, he's got a nerve phone in here, hasn't he?
Oh, he's got that all right. He was asking how Rita was keeping, as it happens.
Well, the next time he rings up, tell him she's keeping very well, and so is her flaming husband.
It's funny that, Len. He never mentioned you.
Yes. Well, come on then, drink up, mate. It's my shout.
Right.
God, blimey, he's got ears like a barn door, isn't he? What you having?
Just half a lager, please.
What are you looking so pleased with yourself about?
Well, I've just finished those projected production figures you were after.
Oh, yeah, that was quick.
Well, I don't hang about.
And?
Well, like I said, we need more staff.
More? Well, how many more?
Well, if we're going to meet that contract, I reckon another 3 should do it.
3? What, 3 more machinists?
Well, at a pinch, we could get away with 2 and a trainee.
I don't suppose you've got any shares going over at your place, have you?
Wouldn't advise buying a Mrs. T. It's costing me more to make the gear than I get for selling it.
My heart bleeds for you.
You look all right on it, believe me.
I tell you, mate, this is where all the money's made, in here.
Oh, that's what they all say from that side of the bar.
Look, I tell you, if I had any spare cash, I'd put it in this place. That's what I'd do.
Talking about I've been doing it for years. It hasn't done much for me.
So what do you reckon?
Eh? Oh, well, if we've got to have them, we've just got to have them, haven't we?
So are you going to fix it up?
What do you think I'm paying you for?
Right. Well, I'll get down to it this afternoon.
Yeah, do that.
Customers are more important than that, Gail.
Sorry, Emily, I didn't notice her coming.
You really are miles away, aren't you?
I can't help it. I've tried to think of something else, but I can't.
All right. I can manage here now. Why don't you slip your coat on and go home?
You said I'd be better off here.
I know I did. I thought if you had something to do, it'd help to keep your mind off it, but... well, I was wrong.
I think it'd be better if I went.
Go on, then.
Emily, if he does come in...
I'll tell him where you are.
Well,
I've seen him.
Brian, where?
Only having a cup of coffee in that cafe at the bottom of Commercial Road, wasn't he?
Well, where is he? Have you brought him back?
No, love, I haven't. Well, I can't make him do anything he doesn't want to, can I?
Well, I hope you've told him what I've been going through.
Yeah, but he was more worried about Gail as it happens.
Oh, and what do you have to bring her into it for?
I didn't, he did.
Well, what's he doing, Bert? He can't just roam the streets.
Well, he's not roaming the streets, love. Apparently he spent the night at a mate's.
Well, when is he coming home then, didn't he say?
No, love, he didn't.
I'm off now, love. Are you sure you'll be all right?
Yeah, of course I will.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, well, you better come in. There's somebody to see you.
Okay.
See you.
Where the heck have you been? I've been worried sick.
I know, I'm sorry. I had to get away and work things out for myself. Get away from my mum and sort out what I really do want. What I think's best. Best for both of us.
Have you?
Yes, I have. I want you.
What was wrong with that phoning job you had?
What was right with it? You should have heard the language.
Well, you can't blame folk, love. I mean, they didn't ask you to phone them.
No, I know that, but I mean, it's bad enough obviously to look at Elsie's wallpaper when you're not working with it, but working with it as well. Anyway, it just seemed wrong working at home, you know.
I know what you mean, Chuck. I'd go potty if I didn't get out the house for a change, Tal.
So, you're out to work again. That's the top and bottom of it.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Have you got any bright ideas?
I thought job centres were full of them.
Oh, don't you start having up with Elsie.
Have you never thought she might be right? I mean, I didn't think it was that hard to get a job. It's not as if you haven't got the experience.
Yeah, but there's nothing I fancy, Betty.
Well, what do you fancy?
That's just it. I don't know anymore, do I?
Well, if I were you, kid, I'd get making your mind up quick. Otherwise, you might just find you've got out the habit.
If I haven't already, go on, say it. I like to know who my friends are.
Well, here's one now. If you're lucky, you might just buy you another half.
That obvious, is it?
Well, seeing as you're asking, kid, yeah, it is.
Yes, my love.
Just half a bitter, please, Betty.
Okay, dear.
I haven't had my dinner yet.
Well, we've not got much left to eat.
Oh. Well, not to worry. I fancy the change anyway. Same again, is it?
Aye, go on.
Go on, I'll fetch him over.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Here's the bill.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
You know I can't buy you one back, you know I'm skint.
Who said anything about you buying me one back?
It's a bit late for you, isn't it, Chuck?
I've been working, haven't I?
Which is more than some of us.
Oh, yeah. The phoning job. I did hear.
And that's the least of my worries.
What, something else?
Aye, it's Elsie. She's threatened to throw me out.
Throw you out? What for?
Because I've not been paying me way. Look, I've told her when I get a job, I'll give her the money.
Oh, well, I can see what she means.
Oh, don't you start.
Oh, look at yourself. I mean, when it comes to track records, you're still at the starting gate, aren't you?
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Well, what do you expect, Tarlov? What do you expect? There's jobs you can do if you put your mind to it.
Like what?
Like jobs that call for a bit of hard graft. Because whatever you think, that's how you earn your money these days. Look, if Elsie was asking for the impossible, I'd be on your side, but I don't happen to think she is.
All right, you're full of all these smart ideas. What do you suggest?
Well, that depends on how far down the ladder you're willing to start, doesn't it?
I couldn't go much lower, could I?
Well, if you're serious, there is a job going over the road that might suit a trainee machinist.
What, and work with Ivy Tilsley and that lot?
It's a job.
Yeah, and that's all you can say about it.
Sorry I mentioned it.
Anyway, Mike Borden wouldn't let me near the place. You know what he said to me when he threw me out the Western Front.
He's not doing the hiring. He told me to deal with it.
I suppose it'd pay the rent.
It'd do that, no danger. Well, let me know if you change your mind, but don't take all day about it, eh?
I haven't got much choice, have I? When do I start?
We'll see.
Did you do with yourself all night?
Well, I walked round for a bit, and I tried to have a kip in the park. I couldn't sleep, so I went out to this mate of mine.
Brian, I was worried sick when your dad came round and said you'd left home.
No, I'm sorry. It was me mum. She wouldn't give up. I just had to get away and sort things out for myself.
Could wring her neck sometime.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, look, about you and this fella Roy Thornley.
Brian, I told you. It was a long time before I met you.
Yes, I know. And now I've had time to think about it. What you did before you met me is your business. All that matters now is what happens to us, you and me. So I reckon the sooner we get married, the better.
When?
As soon as you like. Hey, I'm not working this afternoon.
Can't get married that
we?
Well, we can get it fixed up, though, can't we? You going back to Dawson's?
Not today, don't know.
Well, then, what do you reckon?
What do you think? I'm sorry you've had to wait, Steve. It's a bit slow in the kitchen.
Oh, that's all right, don't worry. Looks almost good enough to eat, does that?
Oh, are you ready for your bills?
Yes, please. Hello, Mike. What are you doing here?
I'm off to Warmers, as Betty said you'd be. What the heck do you call that?
Egg on toast. Fancy a bite?
Of course you're joking. My stomach could never forgive me. Here, listen, Ivy reckons she knows a couple of machinists who jump at the chance of working for us, so see her fix it up the sooner the better, all right?
Right. Oh, you can forget about the trainee.
Why, you found someone?
I have.
Now, don't tell me it's a Dolly bird with legs up to her armpits who can't remember her own name.
No, it's Susie Birchall.
Susie Birchall? Over my dead body.
Oh, come on. She's intelligent, quick to learn, and she's got all her faculties about her and a bit more besides. What more do you want?
I'll tell you what I don't want, Susie Birchall, so you can forget it.
I can't, you know. I've already told her she can have the job.
Then you'll have to tell her she can't, won't you? Oh, see ya.
Riot! Just look at time and they call you the working class.
Oh, they get their pound of flesh over there, don't you, Fred? Now, what? Oh, yes. Have you got any of them cheap tats I had last week? I've just gone and snagged my last bear.
I have. There we are.
Carl.
You didn't say anything about paying your papers while you were here, did you?
What paper?
Papers, you know. They come through letterbox every morning in all weather.
Oh, well, go on. It can't be that much.
5 weeks.
Never.
That's what they all say. There we are, love.
Here, is that all right?
That's it. Thank you.
Have you still got that gramophone here?
Yes, I have.
Well, that military band record, you know, you played one side for me this morning, but I'd like it to the side before I make my mind up.
Mr. Tatlock, if you play that record one more time, it'll be worn out.
Well, you can't go rushing into things like that when you're on a pension.
I didn't know you were a record fan, Albert.
I'm not, but it makes a change from wireless.
Oh, you don't want to come buying records like that,
What?
you know. You know you can hire them for 15p a time at the library.
Can you? Oh, not very much.
So you won't want me to put it on for you now, then?
Oh, I'd still like it to the side. I mean, I can't go out paying 15p for something I might not like, can I?
You know he's got some at there, girls. See ya.
Not too soon, I hope. Right, Mr. Tatlock?
Just half, please, Betty.
Okay,
and whatever Love's Young Dream wants there. I know, this one's on me. No, I'll get him, you're all right. No, don't be daft. You can be one of the first to congratulate us.
You've not got married.
Not quite, but we fixed the day.
How did you say?
You never asked, did you?
You must be slipping in your old age.
Oh, what is it?
August the 11th.
Hey, it looks as if things might be getting a bit serious.
Serious? Cost us over 10 quid.
You'd have been cheaper getting yourself a dog, you know.
Hey, I never thought of that.
Ron, hey!
Do you want another drink, love?
No, thanks. I want to go get changed before we go
Okay,
out.
then. See you later, then.
Oh,
Bye.
I think I'm going to be sick.
I'll give it.
You are.
Give us a scotch, please.
Okay, love.
Wait. Any problems?
No.
Oh, you seen Susie Birchall?
No.
Well, don't you think you'd better?
No, I don't. You told me to hire who I wanted, and I reckon she's going to be all right. I don't see any reason why I should give her the elbow.
Because I said so, that's why.
Well, I'm sorry, Mike. It was my decision, and I'm sticking to it.
Look, I'm not having that girl working for me, and that's the end of it.
There you are, my love.
So,
Thank you.
do you hear what I said?
I did. And it makes no difference. If you'd have wanted to say who you wanted and who you didn't, you should have done the hiring yourself.
Now, look, don't you be funny with me, Steve. She's going, and that's the end of it.
I see. Well, I happen to feel as strongly about this as you do.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that if you don't back me, it won't just be Susie that's not working over there. I won't be either.
What? You mean you give up your job for her? You must have it bad.
It's got nothing to do with that. You delegated me to do a job, and as far as I'm concerned, I've done it. And if you haven't got the confidence in me to back me up, then there's nothing more to talk about, is there?
You mean that, don't you?
I do.
All right, point taken. But I'll tell you something, Sunshine. Any trouble from her and you won't have to resign. Because you'll both be down that road so fast your feet won't touch it.
Just tell her I'm all right, Dad.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, There's something else you can tell her and all.
What's that?
We fixed the date. We're getting married August 11th, Weatherfield Registry Office.
Well, I suppose it's the best thing you can do under the circumstances. Your mum might just get it into her head that you finally mean business, the pair of you. Well, good luck, son, to both of you.
Thanks, Dad.
See you then.
I'll see you.
Hello,
love.
Mr. Jake, you all right?
Yes, all right.
Hello.
Ah, what are you having?
Oh, do you think I should? I mean, I don't start work till Monday and I'm drinking with the bosses.
And that's what we do over there, work.
I'm not frightened of it, you know.
We've only your word for that.
If you feel like that, why have you taken me on?
I didn't. He did. So foul this one up and you'll both have your heads on the chopping block.
What kept you to be all dried up?
How Brian did.
Hi, Brian, where is he?
On his way back to his mates, I shouldn't wonder.
Well, he's not staying there again tonight, Bert.
Yes, he is.
But when is he coming back?
He isn't. He's stopping there.
Stopping there, but this is his home.
Well, that's not the way he sees it.
What? You mean he's not coming back?
That's what he said.
What, our Brian?
And I'll tell you something else and all. All that guff you've been dishing up about Gail and that Thornley fella, well, it hasn't made a scrap of difference. Our Brian and Gail are going to get married in spite of you. They said to tell you. They'll be very happy to see you there. If you want to go, that is.
Hello. What are you doing prowling round here this time of day?
I like it this time of day. Quiet, no one around. Seems more mine, Summer.
It is yours.
Yeah. My name's on the income tax demand, you mean?
Hey, what was it started you thinking, you know, about starting up your own firm?
Well, I suppose it was this bloke in this engineering firm I worked for once. Only a small place. I was T-boy. Anyway, he was a skilled bloke, this fella. And he used to look out the window with a mug of tea in one hand and a fag in the other. And he'd see his boss arriving, getting out of his Rolls Royce, and he'd say, you know, I could have been like that. I could have had a Rolls Royce. And I used to think, well, what's stopping you, mate? Then one day it dawned on me. Better get up and go, a bit of drive, a bit more ambition, that's all you need.
Yeah, and the rest.
Yeah, if you insist. Brains, personality, and a knack of dealing with the working classes, which reminds me, I'm holding you responsible for any aggravation that's caused by Susie working here.
Well, what aggro could it cause?
A lot. Her being a bit fly, and the others resenting it.
Oh, she'll be all right.
Don't there seem to be a lot of weddings happening? You know, between famous people. Is that a fact? Yeah, well, it's summer, isn't it? Weather's warm and everything's perfect for a wedding. As I recall, Arlene White got married on January the 2nd. Now, if she'd have waited till summertime, she would have had a built-in bridesmaid. You always have to scoff, don't you? I mention the word weddings and you have to scoff. Well, you go all weak-kneed and starry-eyed. So you're going to marry Brian the Teeth, and I'm very happy for you. But if you think I'm going to think about that from now till August, you can think again. I mean, I could get a toothache, or lad of me tights, or Paul Newman make another movie. Life goes on, Gail.
Yeah. Well, it'll certainly be my main interest. Every hour, every second, every minute.
His mother might still put a stop to it.
She can't. She'll have to kill me first.
Ah, it has been known. I remember reading this woman in Italy. She poisoned every woman in the village to stop them getting their hooks into her lovely son. And he was that fat you couldn't hide him in a haystack.
Just not have to eat them, will I?
You not dressed yet, madam? Do you know what time it is? In 10 minutes' time you come out of retirement, and a very brief appearance it'll be if you don't get your finger out, madam.
I'll be on time. I don't have to get togged up, do I, to go to the factory? Even though you seem to spend a great deal of time taking notice.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think she's nervous and she's trying to be clever to cover it up.
Oh, yes, they'll cover up for her over there, all right, if she acts like that, with a sheet.
Ah, where did I put it? Somewhere safe, which means it's undetectable. Ah, here we are. Crayons. Now you can dash off a quick mural on Auntie Emily's parlour wall.
And she will. What do you say, Tracy?
Oh, they've been lying. Oh, thank you, that's it. They've been lying about the office for weeks. Someone picked them up in the street, but they never claimed.
Thanks very much, Ken.
Pleasure.
Right, well, we better get you off before you start drawing murals on these walls.
Oh, though, there was one other thing.
Yeah?
Well, the thought occurred to me, possibly triggered off by the beautiful morning or the pervading promise of joys to come. Anyway, the thought occurred to me that
you might not be otherwise engaged this evening. In which case, the possibility of my escorting you to some restaurant or hostelry, or indeed inviting you back to sample my incomparable home cooking, might not be too ridiculous.
Don't you talk funny?
Yeah, well, it's living so long with Uncle Albert, you see, he tends to grunt rather a lot. So when I have an opportunity for normal conversation, well, I go over the top a bit.
Are you asking me to step out with you tonight?
Got it in one.
8 o'clock, all right?
Great.
OK, see you then.
Right.
Come on then, Flower, let's get you off. There we go. Oh, just a minute. What was that you were saying about home cooking?
Incomparable home cooking.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Albert's away, and in all modesty, I think I could give you a better meal than any of the calves round about.
You do?
Definitely.
And your intentions are honourable, of course.
No.
See you at 8 then.
Bye.
Right, that's the paperwork done. Now, let's see if we can find you someone to sit with.
Sit with?
Yeah, you know, sit at the machines with them, learn how it's done.
Oh, that won't take long.
Now, Ivy, Elsie, can you have a minute?
What's he want, as if I didn't know? Oh, come on, Ivy. Try and cooperate for once in your life. Come on.
Hey, she's not sitting with me.
She's not sitting with me either. You do as you're flaming well told.
Says her.
Oh, ain't she in a bad temper this morning?
You know why, don't you? Brian and that girl, they've only got an 8 day.
Have the Joss. No wonder she's got a face like the back of a fish cart.
You're the obvious choice, Ivy.
I'm always the obvious choice when we get a learner.
Oh, well, you shouldn't be so good at your job, should you?
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Well, what do you say?
I don't see why I should risk losing money.
You'll not. Your bonus is guaranteed, even if you don't do the work.
It's still a bind.
Ivy.
Yeah?
You'll not have to put up with me for very long. I guarantee that within the week I'll know the job as well as you do.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, I do.
What, before week's out?
Yes.
Well, come on then, let's see how you keep to your promise.
Susie just begs for trouble sometimes, doesn't she?
I warned her. I told her to keep her head down till she got settled in. And does she take any notice, does she?
You what? You heard I said make us a brew.
Just for you?
No, all of us.
And that means me.
And me.
Look, I didn't come here to be a tea girl. I came here to learn a job and earn some money.
Listen, the learner always brews up, otherwise they don't learn. Am I right, ladies?
Yes. We want to brew, we do.
Kettle's in corner, and there's some tea and milk there. Oh, and by the way, it costs you 20p a week if you want to drink yourself.
Hey, and there's something else and all.
What's that?
She ought to go to corner shop for cakes.
My mother was strict teetotal, you know. I say, my mother was strict teetotal on account of her father always being taken fighting mad in drink. They used to have to lock him away for 3 or 4 days in the cellar. I don't know what she'd say if she knew I was selling booze.
Oh, probably not a lot if she knew it was keeping a little lad in the lap of luxury. Well, what passes for luxury in a corner shop?
Hey, have you ever thought of keeping a pub?
Yeah, I have. Have you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Little place of my own, a free house somewhere in the country. We might be able to afford it when I get my compensation.
Am I too late to order a bran loaf?
Oh, no, you're lucky. Breadfell hasn't been yet.
Oh, good. And I'll need some cream as well.
Oh, yeah, well, plenty of that.
Right. And a bottle of wine. I want a good one, though. None of your coloured water vintage last week.
Well, do you want red or white? Do you want the claret or the burgundy? Or perhaps a nice little rosé from a cavern in the Pyrenees?
Mark, Tim, you get it all off labels, you know. Until he married me, you thought you got wine from dissolving wine gums.
Yeah, I can quite believe it. Bye. Hello, Betty.
Hello. Hey, you had a visitor very early this morning, didn't you?
I've told you before, Betty, the eyes that never sleep very soon will need dark glasses.
Oh, give over. Packet of a ladyship specialty, love.
Oh, you mean the sort that everybody else has?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, who was Ken's visitor?
I knew you'd have to ask. I knew you couldn't keep out of it.
Shut up. Yeah, mind your own business. Only Deirdre Langton.
Deirdre? It didn't take her long to get a new string to her bow. Billy Walker walks out front door and she drags Ken Barlow in at the back.
It's Ken that's making the running.
Do you think so?
I'm sure so.
Why, you should hear yourselves. Talk about over the garden wall, a pair of right old biddies.
You'll have to get used to this sort of conversation, you know, if you're going to work here, won't he, better?
Yeah, give him a month, he'll be worse than we are. Hey, I know I've got a bit of news for you. My compensation came through this morning. A cheque in the post.
That's a coincidence. Yeah. Insurance chap's coming to see Alf about ours this afternoon.
Hey, how much did you get? Or is that being a bit inquisitive?
Yes, it is. And it was a tidy sum. And that's all I'm telling anybody. I don't want everybody around here thinking I'm a
A rich widow. The damn fellas would never be off my doorstep.
Wonder what she meant by a tidy sum.
Ah, to be peanuts compared to what I'll get. I mean, she was hardly scratched in that accident, you know. I was nearly killed, wasn't I?
Hiya.
Yes, love.
Hiya.
Sewing room kit? Oh, yes, of course you started there this morning, didn't you?
Hey, how's it going, love?
Oh, fabulous.
All I'm saying is give the girl a chance, that's all.
Did she give us a chance that time she tried to blackleg it strike? All she were interested in were her own job. She didn't give a toss about us.
The right answer, she didn't, you know.
Yes, but
And if you ask me, there's some favouritism going on somewhere. I mean, I need some income for a job. Oh, no, Chancellor said. Only last month. And Miss World comes for a job and gets one just like that.
Well, we all know Mike Baldwin fancies her.
Oh, look, that's silly talk. If you really must know, it was Steve that gave her the
Now,
job.
look, ladies, if you must have a powwow, can you do it on your own time, please? We are in the middle of a big order from Brown's, and that means lots of lovely lolly. And according to Mrs. Thatcher, that's exactly the incentive a worker needs to get her going like a South Korean. So if you won't do it for me, do it for your glorious leader, eh?
Well, we might do a lot better if we didn't have to keep wet nursing your lady friends.
Pardon?
Oh, nothing to take no notice of. You know how Vera, she's dead romantic. She doesn't know what she's saying half the time.
I'm not frightened of him, you know.
She knows you're not, Vera, but is Susie worth getting into a row with management for? Now, is she?
Hey, up. She's back.
All I'm saying is give her a fair chance.
What took you so long?
I had to wait for them to be delivered, didn't I?
Well, I hope you brought me a donut.
I did, Ida. You know, no wonder you've got a figure like you have, eating muck like this.
I hope you're not referring to me. I've got a better figure than you have, and I can eat all I like.
Hey, up, love, I've got another job for you now.
What's that?
Can you go down to jacket maintenance and ask him for long reach?
Long reach? What's that when it's done?
Well, it's a sort of a long pole. It's got a screwdriver on end, only my machine's all bunged up, and that's the only thing that'll free it.
Long reach?
That's right, love.
You're not having me on?
No, I'm a acres like.
In maintenance, you say?
That's right.
It's in that little room next to packing.
A long reach?
Hey, you'd be asking her to go for a bucket of elbow grease.
Not to mention a bloody skyhook.
Right, Squire, that's 35 on mine, that's 49 altogether.
Yeah. A pint of sluts, Fred, before my tongue cracks for the heat.
Do I do any more damage out of this?
Here, go on. I never expect a pounder to come back alive these
You're
days.
an officer and a gentleman, sir, and you need promotion.
You're right. I should be running ICO.
I've always fancied myself as a ship's captain, you know. Something like the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, give over, Stanley. You've got to be intelligent to do a job like that.
Who says I'm not intelligent?
Mind you, I will say this. You have got a certain amount of coke, forgetting all the free booze that you do.
Some people say you've forgotten where your pockets are.
Oh, go on, just name one. Go on.
But I won't.
Now, come on, you two. I come in here for a quiet drink, not to referee a boxing
Well,
match.
tell him to watch what he says then.
Ditto.
Dad.
Oh, by the heck, you can't get in here fast enough, can you? Do you know, one of these days I'm going to get home from skivvy in here and find you've made a bit of dinner for me. That's if the world ever turns a somersault and everything stands on its head. And that won't be in your lifetime, because the weight of you keeps it fastened down the way it is. Oh, it's rotten unfair on the likes of me.
I'm sorry I said that, Stan, mate. You do deserve a few perks in life, you know, for putting up with Hilda all this time.
I wouldn't care, but I don't deserve such abuse.
Susie, it's ready. Susie! Whew. I was just about ready for this, weren't you?
Not specially.
It was only a bit of fun, you know.
Was it?
Yeah. They do that to practically every newcomer, ever since Eve was a girl.
Ha ha. Long reach. It's pathetic.
Well, you fell for it.
Oh, yes, I fell for it. It didn't mean the rest of the world had to fall about.
Didn't it?
Yeah, and you could have warned me.
What, and spoil all the fun and never forgive me?
I still think they enjoyed it more because it was me they were taking the mickey out of.
Well, whose fault is that? Look at the way you went into work this morning. Your hair bristling, standing on end, spoiling for a fight.
I did not. It was them. They treated me like dirt from the word
If you're
goat.
going to work there, you've got to try and work with them.
Why?
Why have I, as long as I do my job properly?
Because it makes life easier, that's why.
They could make life easier for me.
Now give up.
Oh, Elsie, I'm not really big-headed and snooty, and I do like folk to like me, but...
But what?
Oh, but I knew. I knew they'd be gunning for me, so I thought they won't get me down. And they won't. No way.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Let it be. But one thing I do know, they'll respect me as a worker. I swear that.
Hello? Finished already?
Well, when you get two sensible folk talking, you come to a quick and sensible conclusion, don't you? What do you say, Mr. Webster?
Oh, not always, but on this occasion, definitely.
Well, do you mind telling me what this quick and sensible conclusion was?
She means how much?
Exactly, I do.
Is your wife very mercenary, Mr. Webster?
She'd skin a flea.
I find that with the ladies these days, don't you?
Oh, all the time.
Do you know, if one of you doesn't tell me, I'll bang your heads together.
Well, the sum of £500 was mentioned.
That's not much for what you went through, all that pain and suffering.
Hang on, that's what I said.
It is a fact, though, Mrs. Roberts. There have been no lasting ill effects. He's as good as new again.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right, love. You know, it was no picnic, that accident, and what I went through afterwards.
Not to mention me.
So I haggled, didn't I?
And we agreed on a figure of £800.
What do you think?
I suppose that's more like it.
It's very generous, really.
Yeah, well, I think so. I'm very happy.
There'll be a cheque in the post, like tomorrow. No hassles with lawyers and things.
Yeah, I've signed the paper already. You know, accepting it like.
Yeah, I suppose £800 is a lot of money. But in your dreams, you know, you think of thousands, don't you?
What did I say? Mercenary.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise, Mr. Webster.
Bye, Mrs. Roberts.
Bye.
800 quid just like that. Can't be bad, you know.
Do you know I've seen a right nice bathroom suite in Bailey's?
And Frank Watson's got some right nice cars in his showroom.
Everything all right, darling? You're getting the hang of it?
What do you think?
Must be nice to be well in with, Bob.
It is here, it is.
I don't think much of this tea you've made. It's like washing up water.
You should have said, Ard, you liked it nice and strong. You know, like navvies do.
You're a cheeky little madam, you aren't you?
I don't want to be yet.
Well, would you like to have a go at this now?
Go on. Oops. Now.
What's on the front one? Hold on, steady, steady. Don't put some bull-headed at it. That's very good.
Seems peaceful enough.
It is peaceful. You sound disappointed.
No, I'm just surprised, that's all. Still, it's early days yet, isn't it? How are things going generally? Getting their quotas out, are they? Spot on. That's the ticket.
Oh, thank God for that.
Now, you won't be saying that when you're drawing your bonus and booking your holiday to Mallorca again, will you?
Oh, yes, I will, because I'll tell you something. If you paid me £100 a week, the sweetest sound of the day would still be that knocking off filter. And I'll tell you something else as well. This is a very boring job, and there isn't many fellas would do it. See ya. Good night, Chuck.
Good night. There are, you see. You risk your money, you put your health on the line to give them a job, and that's all the thanks I get. Maybe that fella in that engineering firm was right. I mean, what's the good of dragging your guts out when nobody else gives a monkey's?
Yeah, excuse me, Mike. I'm just going to have a quick word with Susie. I'll see you in the morning, eh?
Here, hang on a minute. Am I the only one in this place who's dedicated? Yes, son, you are.
So I wondered if you fancied a quick drink.
Yeah, OK. See what I did?
Hey, that's great, huh?
I told you it wouldn't take too long.
Sucking up to bosses now. I mean, what did I tell you about favouritism?
Well, I can't stand her, that's for sure, the little madam.
She's not deaf, though. Come on.
Good night.
Oh, not to worry. They'll soon come round.
Do you reckon? Oh, come on, Mr. Works Manager, sir, whatever your job description is. Lead me to that drink. I think I've earned it.
Right.
Here, let me take your coat. I'll bring it up for you.
Thanks.
After you.
Well, this looks very nice.
Here,
Well, it's the knives and forks that make the difference. When Uncle Albert's around, we usually eat everything with a spoon.
Now, you're always saying things like that, but I know for a fact you're very fond of him.
Yeah, I am, actually. Well, would you like a drink? Gin? Sherry? Beer?
Sherry, please.
Dry, all right?
Yes, fine.
Oh, I suppose Emily's babysitting.
Who else? Hey, you don't think I put on her, do you?
Oh, doesn't everybody put on Emily? And doesn't she enjoy it?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Still, I mustn't take advantage.
There we are.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Very nice. Cold, too.
Yes, I always think these sherries are better served slightly chilled, don't you?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Sorry. Was it sounding a bit pompous?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I think it's one of the nicer things about you.
No, I don't think. Anyway, I hope you're hungry.
Famished. I could eat a mucky mattress.
Oh, well, I don't think I could provide quite that. However, what I have got, for starters, we've got fagioli. Now, that is... Here I go again, patronising you. It must be the teacher buried deep inside of me. Of course, you know what fagioli is.
I haven't a clue.
Well, it's white beans, tuna fish and onions.
Sounds delicious.
And then for the main course, we've got steak au poivre.
Oh, please, teacher.
Yes.
I know what that is. Peppered steak.
You get 2 team points for that.
Oh, thank you.
And then for afters...
I like afters.
Well, we've got profiteroles, though I must confess, not made by me. They are shop-bought, as my mother used to say with great contempt.
Oh, she probably had more time to spend over a hot stove than you do.
Well, she didn't, actually. Well, does the menu meet with your approval?
Sounds fabulous. It's amazing what you find in these little back streets.
It is.
See, she's not even talking to me. Well, she's not speaking to me either, and I'm not seeing her only son. Yeah, but it's spoiling what should be an happy time, isn't it? Brian's even had to leave home. I sometimes think they'd have been better off if they'd never set eyes on me. I'm a bad influence.
Oh, stop it. I felt sorry for myself this morning for 5 minutes. And you'll feel better soon. Brian will be in.
Yeah. 2 lattes, lovey. Hey, how did Susie manage across the way on her first day? I forgot to ask her.
Oh, all right.
Ta, lovey.
Hey, what did I just hear you say? Huh? Did I just hear you say Susie Birchall started across the road? Because nobody's mentioned it to me.
Do they ever mention it to you when they start somebody new across the road? I can't think why they should, can you?
Did you hear that, Stanley?
What?
Susie Birchall started across at the factory.
So what?
Well, what qualifications has she got for that job?
I don't know.
None. I've got more than what she has.
Well, you're working there already, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, but only charring. Not as a machinist. Not earning the sort of money she'll be earning. Another case of the Ogdens being second-class citizens.
I'm no second-class citizen. I'm well respected wherever I go.
Only by your boozing mates, and they couldn't tell a clog from a court shoe.
Hello, Al.
Good evening, Fred. Give us a pint. Have a drink yourself.
Oh, it must be my lucky day. Everybody wants to buy me drinks. Is it the weather, or have you come into brass?
Well, I have in a manner of speaking.
All right. Went on the nags, is it?
No, it's insurance job, isn't it? You know, compensation.
Oh, yeah, well, Betty got hers, you know.
She said so. I've done right well, you know. Best part of £1,000.
Aye.
800 to be exact.
800, eh? Very tasty. Mind you, as I say, Betty was barely scratched unlike you, and she got 300 quid.
So those were profiteroles?
Yes, did you like them? You should say if you don't.
They were smashing, like everything else. Aren't you a good cook?
Well, I don't cook as much as I used to. Uncle Albert's taste in food being very basic, like bacon and eggs, or eggs and bacon.
When did you used to cook a lot?
When Val was alive. Not that she couldn't cook, but, well, I had these fancy ideas about French cuisine, and I used to cut out these exotic menus from magazines and try them on her. Well, that was when I was young and foolish.
You're not exactly ancient now.
Except when I'm being pompous.
I've told you, I like it.
I think you're singing for your supper.
Cheap at the price.
Cheese? Biscuit?
Oh, just coffee for me, thanks. I couldn't eat another thing.
Right. But you could manage a brandy there.
I can always manage booze.
Oh, by the way, I like your perfume.
Oh, do you? Thanks very much. It's nothing special.
Now, just look at them windows. I've been telling you all week.
Is that what you got me out here for?
Flipping scandalous. Married to a flaming window cleaner and just look at her.
Get back in the house, woman.
I want them windows done.
I'm doing nought till I've had my breakfast.
You're not getting no breakfast. You're not getting nothing till them windows are done. Oh, Miss Stan, they're a disgrace. Morning, Hilda. Morning. Oh, you lads, you're not interested in the job then, now she's got it?
Oh, she's just deciding on the right nail varnish to wear. You know how she likes to make a good impression.
Oh, aye, we know the sort of impression she makes. And the little lad's still wet behind the ears. You know what I mean, don't you? Because that's the only way she got that job. Have a nice day, Hilda. And the money she'll be making. Sight more than me, and I've got more idea in my little finger. Phew, was I took on?
You never asked, did you?
Morning.
Oh, so help me, what's all that in aid of?
Not so what in aid of?
Well, what you've done to your overall?
Well, I took it in, didn't I?
I can see you've took it in, but what you done that for?
Because it was all big and baggy at the front, and I'm not.
Oh. Well, it looks very fetching, doesn't it, ladies?
Oh, it's little Miss Sex Appeal. I don't know what sex it appeals to, mind.
Am I sitting with you, Ivy?
Nobody said out to me, Elsie. Where's she going?
Same as yesterday, Ivy. Just carry on as usual.
Morning, girls.
Morning. Oh, Chuck. He's never noticed.
Don't be so pathetic. When I want to pull fellas, I take this off. Anyway, it's not for his benefit.
Well, whose benefit is it for, then?
Mine. Just because I have to do a draggy old boring job doesn't mean I have to be draggy old and boring with it, does it?
You know, I reckon I've slipped up. Over this insurance business, compensation, you know.
Have you?
Oh, I should have known inside myself to settle too easily.
Do you know, I thought you should have had more than 800 quid.
Yeah, well, it seemed like a reasonable lump of money, did that, 800... 800 quid? Well, it would have been at one time.
Alf, this is 1979.
You know what Betty Turpin got, don't you?
No.
300 quid.
Huh? She only had a scratch compared with what you got.
I know, and Mike Baldwin, he was another one who did very nicely, thank you.
How much did he get?
Well, I don't know exactly, but according to Freddie, he didn't do badly.
I suppose he had a solicitor on job.
He probably did.
Well, why didn't you? Oh, no, not you. Do it yourself and save a bit of brass.
Look, it wasn't that at all. Listen, I have been negotiating, well, half my life.
Well, I'm glad you weren't negotiating for me.
Oh, thank you very much.
Look, Alf, you've diddled yourself. And now you've signed up, you can't undiddle yourself.
Yeah, well, I don't know so much about that.
You've agreed that the money was fair compensation. You agreed by accepting it.
Look, I have accepted nothing out but a cheque into nothing.
That doesn't matter. You've signed that thing, and that is that. There's no comeback. What do you think he was doing in here, all nice and smiling? You said so yourself.
If I'd have known that he was coming in...
Well, don't mind me. If you're in the middle of slaughtering one another, don't let me stop you. Because it does no good bottling it up, you know. Oh, no, let fly, that's my motto. Does less harm in the long run.
Is there anything you were wanting?
Yeah, a large slice tart. No, I'm just telling you what the doctor told me years ago. Now, he said to me, you don't bottle things up, do you? I said, no. He said, you're very wise. Probably live to be 100. Because it's them what bottle things up inside what go funny in the head, you know. And half a pound of margarine, please.
It's just as well about opposites then, isn't it? Because some people can't put a stopper in the bottle, can they?
The 58, please, Hilda.
Yeah. Well, any road, you'll soon be chuckling, won't you? Eh? When you get your compensation? Have you heard out yet? No, well, I suppose the big uns will take the longest, won't they? No, I mean, you'll get more than anybody, won't you? Because it were a matter of life and death. Oh, yeah, you'll be all right. Because I can tell you now what Mike Baldwin got. And it were in the thousands. Oh, yeah, you'll be chuckling.
You know, I don't like him.
What don't you like?
Well, you've seen the movie, haven't you? Geezer with the grey whiskers says it's very quiet here. The other fella says too quiet. Then what happens? Well, it's the big error, isn't it? Shh. Oh.
What? Do you think it's too quiet?
Something happened and you're not telling me, is that it?
No.
Well, you've got a problem, but you're not letting on, is that it? No. Well, where are they all gone? I haven't had a problem in days.
Well, it could be the way I'm running the place.
No, that's not it. No. The orders come in, the stuff goes out, it doesn't come back. The girls are humming, the machines are humming. They're getting their bonus, the insurance company's shilling out to me. No. Something's wrong somewhere. Something terrible's going to happen.
There's something I'd like to show Steve.
Ah, a problem at last, thank God for that.
Oh?
Come on, tell me.
No, it's just something I think Steve ought to see. Take a look at them. Your lady friend made them.
She is not my lady friend.
Well, whatever. Just take a look at them.
Totally hopeless, is it?
As a matter of fact, they're not. Even Ivy says they're very good indeed.
Remember who hired her?
You know, you're going to have a problem with that girl.
Well, yes, I mean, she finds it a bit hard getting on with the other girls, but...
No, sure, what? Quick learners, they're all the same. Once they prove they can do it, they can't be bothered to keep the standard up. Now, the most consistent good work I've always found come from the girls that find it hard to learn in the first place. No, it's not much of a problem, but it's better than nothing. Now, listen, whatever work that girl does, check, and then check again.
I'll wring his blooming neck. Hi.
Oh, hello. I've got your ball. There you are.
Yeah, thanks. Said, what do you think you're doing here? Do you know, it's took me all morning just to get him outside to do a couple of windows. And look where he is.
I'm just filling my bucket, aren't I?
There you go, Stan, lad.
Just filling your bucket.
Aye. Put some water in there, will you?
We do have us own water, you know.
You were washing up, weren't you? I didn't want to disturb it, did I?
Oh, don't bother talking to me. Just don't bother. All flipping morning just to get a window washed.
I'm doing them, aren't I?
Look, do them or not, I don't care. I've had enough. I've had enough. Give us a gin and tonic, Betty. Gin and tonic? Yeah, if he can drink.
Gin and tonic.
Do you know, if I had a little bit of a job somewhere paying decent money, I could live a very independent life. Me needs are very few. One thing I don't need is a big fat idle lump taking up space and supping all my brass and driving me out of my mind. Thank you very much.
Is that right, Hilda? You're leaving, are you? You're going?
Oh, I'm not going nowhere. It's my house.
It's in my name, that house.
That means nothing. You haven't kept up with the law, Stanley. It's all for the women these days.
She's right there, Stan.
There was one, you know, one woman, not even wed, living with this fella in his house. He started acting up, so she went to court and got an order put on him. He can't go within 3 miles of that house now. And that were in his name, and he's still paying for it. Anyway, good luck to what I say, because once your bags hit the pavement, you've no chance.
You never did.
I did.
Oh, yeah, no. I'll have to tell it in confession.
Hey, Mrs. Tilsley.
Yes, Mrs. Ogden.
Are they still taking on over the road?
I couldn't say.
Are you having a pie, Ivy?
And they've got no hot pot?
No, I'm sorry, Chuck.
Oh, well, go on then.
Well, I know of a vacancy that's coming, except it's beneath the dignity of the work like.
Oh, no fair, do she'll be as good as anybody.
Well, you know her, don't you?
Oh, do I?
I'm the one that saddled with her.
Yeah. Well, are they looking for anybody else?
I told you I couldn't say it. Ask Elsie. Why are you thinking of applying?
Yeah.
Have you got any experience?
Phew, I've got a lifetime of flaming experience. If you mean, can I use one of them machines? Yeah, I can.
You know, I showed some of your work to Mike and Steve today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to keep you on.
Terrific.
Yeah. But you know what Mike said?
No.
He said that you had to watch the newcomers who learn very quickly because they didn't always keep up the standard. There's something in it, you know. You want to take note of it. Are you taking this in? What are you supposed to be doing?
Relaxing.
And I'm supposed to run around here like a headless hen getting your dinner ready? Well, you've got another think coming. Why do you go out of the way to get the backs up?
Do I get your back up?
It has been known.
Oh, I don't know, Elsie. It's 'cause they're all so flaming bluch.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means they want to be exactly the same as everybody else, and everyone else to be exactly the same as them. And they hate you for any way different. Well, I don't care. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be different.
Oh, and what's so different about you?
The fact that I want to be. I mean, you hear people say they'd like to be different. But I do. I really want to be different.
Well, good luck to you then. I hope you can take the knocks.
Oh, don't tell me I'm doomed to disappointment. But some people do, you know. They get out this boring humdrum, I don't know, and they do it by being different, not caring what other folk think.
You know, Chuck, it's not them that take you for being different. It's you that take them for being the same as you.
You're not the same as them. Not everyone thinks you're a womble, you know. I mean, yeah, you're different from them.
Well, if I am, take warning. I'm still here, aren't I? Shit. I could have imagined you in my heyday. You'd have got yourself a yank as fast as that. Because they were different. They were like men from Mars to us. We thought they had everything.
You married a yank, didn't you?
Eventually, yes. I even went over there. Might as well have been Mars for all the good it did me. Still, there are no yanks about today. No instant trip to Wonderland. There's just no equivalent today.
Whew. Oh, I feel better. You know, it really works. It does it. It clears your head, makes you relax.
Yeah, well, sit down and eat something before you faint.
There are two possibilities, aren't there? I go back to London, become something very important and be all women's lib, or forget the women's lib and find a fella who's going the same way.
Yes, it's where you're looking that worries me. I hope you're not looking in Mike Baldwin's direction.
Oh, not Mike, I know him. No, that's a case of, thanks for a nice evening, girl. Have you got the money for the bus? No, it's Steve. Steve's more interesting. And even Mike thinks he's got something, doesn't he? I think Steve's more controllable.
Oh?
Ah, you see, that's another thing, isn't it? That's another thing to get their backs up, but I'm not going to care about it.
What will?
Well, he takes me out in his sports car.
Has he asked you out in his sports car?
No, I haven't decided to make him ask me yet.
Oh, I see. And when you've decided to give him the honour of this occasion?
I might decide this afternoon. Bet you a pair of tights.
Right, is that it?
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Well, I'm sorry, did that take longer than you thought?
No, it's all right, I don't mind.
Well, it would have taken twice as long if you'd done it in my office. At least we didn't get disturbed over here.
I reckon that's what the neighbours will be saying as well.
Yeah, well, we do have a chaperone, don't we?
That won't stop them talking.
Look, if you really are worried...
No, don't be daft. Oh, didn't you say there was something else?
No, it's just my personal letter of protest, but I think we'll have to wait until I can moderate my language before I write that.
You feel like that about it?
Of course I feel like that about it. I mean, what's the point in employing people to provide a service, then holding back the money they need in order to provide it? I mean, this is the second time in 3 months I've been asked to submit a new programme on a lower budget, and the money was pitiful in the first place.
Yeah, well, it's always back at Q, isn't it? Anything for the community, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. I think they think social activities are criminal activities nowadays. Anyway, look, don't let me go on. We've worked through the lunch hour.
That's all right. I was only going to open a tin of beans anyway.
Why don't we go on a picnic?
Well, haven't you got to get back to work?
Well, I'll be working.
No, I mean...
Now, look, what can I do over there? I've got 2 activities left. One is thinking up good ideas, and the other's cancelling them. Now, would you like to go on a picnic?
Would you like that?
Would you like to go on a picnic? Yes, of course you would.
All right, then, why not?
OK.
We can't go far, though. She's got a birthday party after.
Well, well, well. Aren't you the lucky girl, then? Birthday parties and picnics.
Sorry, Chuck.
These people you went to see.
What about?
What about insurance, compensation?
Oh, yes, sorry. Well, it's this scheme they've got going. I mean, anybody that lives in the Manchester area, well, they can go.
And are they proper solicitors?
Oh, I think so. I never have to see the documents or anything, but... they should be. It's called Manchester Legal Scheme, or Legal Service, something like that, but it's all free.
Free?
Oh, yes, they'll give you legal advice. It's ever so good. I'm surprised you didn't know about it, Al.
So am I. Never went through Weatherfield Council.
No, Greater Manchester.
Give us a pack of those little cigars, will you?
Yeah, sure.
He went to his own solicitor, didn't you, Mike?
What?
Your solicitor did your compensation for you.
He earned his fee, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I've been trying to catch up with you, as a matter of fact. I believe you did all right, eh?
Well, he got what I was entitled to.
Yeah, in the thousands, wasn't it?
Who you been talking to?
Oh, I've not been talking to anybody, I've just been listening, Well, you do when you're behind the counter, don't you? Is it right?
Nah, figment of someone's imagination, nothing like that. But mind you, better than poking the eye.
Oh, hey. Look, you don't mind me asking, dear, but how much was it you actually got?
Well, seeing as it's not taxable, I'll tell you. But why are you asking? Trying to settle yours?
Yeah, well, make a few comparisons, get it fixed up fine.
Yeah, well, I got 600 quid, I'm not crying.
600 quid for a cracked rib?
And a sprained ankle, pain and suffering, it's reasonable. They're not crying either. What are they putting in your stocking then?
800 quid. Well, that's the figure that's been mentioned, you know.
No, you'd be a mug if you take that. You're the one that's in for the thousands. Cane them.
I say, what do you reckon the crack between them two? I mean, is she sniffing after him or him sniffing after her or what?
Oh, I think that's the most disgusting expression. That's what I think.
What's wrong with it?
Oh!
That's the first time anybody's given me 800 quid and left me feeling a bit sick about it.
There's a bit of pork pie left. Tracy, don't throw your ball over there.
Oh, don't worry, it won't go over. It's too high.
Oh, you don't know her. She's strong, and I'm not going fetching it.
Yeah, there was a time when I might have done, but I'm afraid age has taken over.
Why do you keep going on about your age?
Do I?
Well, that's the third time you've mentioned it today.
Oh.
I don't think age is important anyway.
Yeah, well, when you're approaching 40, you might find that you give the subject, shall we say, a passing regard.
It's your attitude, really, isn't it? That's what really matters.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about my attitudes as well.
Well, change it then.
Ah.
I don't think there's that much wrong with your attitude. It seems healthy enough to me.
Yeah, well, just take my job. We're so starved of money now. My job's a mockery.
Keep going on about that as well.
Yeah, but have I chucked it? No. Am I going to chuck it? No. A hollow man with hollow principles in a hollow job, with an inflation-proof pension scheme, of course. 10 years ago, I'd have walked out.
10 years ago, you'd have got another job.
True.
I think you need a break.
Yeah, oddly enough, I've been offered a cottage up in the lakes. The chap I sit on endless committees with.
That sounds great. You want to go?
No, not really. Oh, it's a lovely place, but, well, what's the point of sitting up there all on your own? All right, well, I think we might as well go.
Yeah. Tracy, come on, love. Well, thanks very much anyway. The posh what's it last night and pie and pop today. You certainly give a girl a lot of variety, I'll say that for you.
There you are, Chuck. I've done your windows.
Couldn't care tuppence.
Oh, start worrying about it. I know. I mean, I know it gets on everybody's nerves. Just
Hey,
bear with it.
Who do I see about applying for a job?
You've got a job.
No, I mean a job as a machinist.
But you're not a machinist.
Well, nobody is till they're toucan.
That's the point, Hilda, but we're not taking anybody on.
There's others being toucan, and she's being trained.
Yeah, well, that was last week.
Well, what about girls what leave then? Now, Sandra Colwell, her what just got wed. Her job will be vacant before long. And you can't tell me different, because it's obvious.
Yes, well, you're right there, Hilda, but you see, it's Steve that does all that, not me.
Don't worry, leave it to me.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Steve, Mrs. Ogden would like a word with you.
Elsie, you owe me a pair of tights.
Oh.
Come on, show me more. I'm eager to learn.
Bayek, you cheek of a brass monkey you have, haven't you?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ogden, but, you know.
Well, I don't know. What I do know is there's trainees been toucan.
Yeah, and we've got a full quota. But if you'd like to put your application down on paper, listing your experience and previous jobs, I'll put it on file, and if a job comes up, we'll look at it.
Well, you know my previous job. I'm here every night doing it. I work here.
Yeah, we know that.
Well, is there any need for me to write it down then?
Well, to be perfectly honest, Mrs. Ogden, I don't think there is much point.
No, neither do I.
Have you chased out that order from Spenlow's?
Yeah, they said they dispatched it. But Mrs. Ogden...
Yeah, we met.
Wants to be a machinist.
You what? Well, why?
Well, I want a job that gives me some independence.
Good a reason as any. Any experience?
No.
Pity, because we can't train you.
Well, there's others being trained. Why not me?
Well, you're too old, love.
I could learn as fast as her.
I dare say. I mean, you've practiced here at nights, haven't you?
Yeah, well, at least I can use a machine.
Look, I don't like saying this, Hilda, but I mean, well, we trained someone like Susie. We've been machinists for 40 years. We trained someone like you. There's not much return on our investment, is there?
Oh, but that's not true, because the likes of me will stay. You can bank on that. Well, same way you can bank on the likes of her flitting off, and then where are you?
Yeah, but in the long run, they're inclined to flip back. You know, once a machinist. Look, If you were a school leaver or on the dole, then the government would pay me to give you a job. But you're not, and I can't. I mean, I personally think you'd make a very good missionary. But the economic facts of life are against you, you see.
Yeah, they always have been. No reason they should change now. Oh, well, I was serious about asking. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hilda.
You'd personally think she'd make a good machinist?
I think she'd be the world's worst.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but you don't have to tell her, do you? I mean, she's not getting the job anyway. So let her just think she was too old. You see, there's dignity in age. There's no dignity in incompetence.
And you're worried about her dignity?
Yeah. It doesn't cost me anything. And it'll probably make her a far sight better cleaner.
Give us a bit of that potted beef, Chuck. Cheer myself up. Do you know, I've just heard them words you hate most.
What's that?
You're too old. Flipping terrible, isn't it? Too old.
Oh, too old for what, did they say?
Oh, well, it were a job I went for. He said I'd have got it and all, only for being too old.
Not enough, huh?
Yes, sir. No, they have to take on school leavers, you see. It's the government. Still, one thing you can't blame yourself for, isn't it?
Is the old man having a snooze?
Hello, I didn't hear you come in.
Ah, the door was open, so we snuck in, didn't we?
Is that for me? Yes. What is it? It's a cake. Is it, what sort of cake is it? Is it birthday cake? Well, would you like to share it?
He said
No,
share
we'll
it.
take the big bit. Right, yes, thank you.
How are you getting on with that?
Oh, not very well. My brain isn't working.
Oh, it takes me all my time to think what to put in an order to the milkman. I don't know. If I had to sit down and write something like that, I don't know where I'd start.
Yeah, well, I haven't just read it through. I don't think I do either.
You want to get to that cottage in the lakes. That'll put you thinking straight. It's what you need.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go. Do you fancy coming?
Me and Tracy?
Well, of course, you and Tracy.
You are funny. I'm not sure if this is a proposition or not.
Well, neither am I. A lot of rooms in this place. That is, if you fancy a holiday.
I wouldn't mind at all.
Well, it's very good of you, Harry. I mean, I'm sure everyone would like a cottage in the lakes at this time of the year. Well, tomorrow, if that's okay. About tea time. Yeah. Yeah, now the key's with Mrs. Langley, that's right. It's the woman next door, isn't it? No, just a week, I'm afraid. Oh, well, you know me. I mean, given half a chance, I could spend 6 months in a cottage on the shores of Ullswater, but unfortunately I've got a living to earn. Yeah, I'm sure we will. And Harry, thanks. Thanks again. Bye.
What's this about a cottage at Lake District?
It's a chap I sit on committees with, Harry Phillips. He's got this cottage by Ullswater, and many times he said I could borrow it.
It can rain like heck up there when it wants, you know. Any road, it'll make a change. Did you say we were going tomorrow?
Oh, well, actually, Uncle Albert...
But I wish you'd give me a bit more warning. I mean, I'm supposed to be working on my allotment tomorrow. Now, I reckon it'll just have to wait.
Look, just hang on, Uncle Albert. I'm afraid you got the wrong impression. I haven't booked this cottage for you and me.
Don't telephone.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm taking Deirdre out there, and Tracy.
You're taking Deirdre Langton on holiday?
Yeah, I think she deserves the holiday. Or me too, come to that.
Blooming head feeling.
Look, I don't know why you're so surprised. You know I've been taking her out.
Yes, well, I mean, I never thought it'd come to this. Look, I haven't said anything, but is she or is she not a married woman?
Oh, come on, Uncle Albert. I mean, technically, yes, she's a married woman, but you know as well as I do that to all intents and purposes, she's a free agent.
After all the education that you've had, and you've got less brains now than what you were born with.
My was off. In about 10 minutes, our rush starts at the cafe.
Emily?
Yes?
We're going away for a few days, Tracy and me, tomorrow.
Going away?
Yeah, just for a little holiday, you know.
Oh, I see. You're going to your mother's?
No, actually, Ken's taken us somewhere in the Lake District.
Ken Barlow?
It's the only Ken we know.
Oh, yes, of course. I was just going to a hotel.
No, a friend of his has offered to lend us his holiday cottage.
Oh, well, I must say, I don't know what to say.
You don't approve?
Well, it hardly matters whether I approve or not, does it? You'll still go. I mean, broadly speaking,
I won't pretend I think it's desirable. Of course, I dare say I'm old-fashioned about these things. I mean, there's no doubt some men would take advantage of the situation, but of course, with it being Ken, well, you know where you are with him. You thought I'd disapprove.
Well, I did expect a bit of tut-tutting, yes.
Like I say, I am old-fashioned. I dare say some people would say prudish, and I do admit, generally speaking, I don't think two unmarried people... Well, of course, you are married, but... Well, you know what I mean, and as I say, Ken isn't the sort to take advantage.
It was only arranged last night, actually. It was one of those spur-of-the-moment things.
And you're taking Tracy with you?
Well, of course. It's her holiday as much as mine.
Yes, a holiday will do her the world of good.
Yeah, get her out in the fresh air a bit.
Well, Ken's very thoughtful, really. It's just like him to want to give little Tracy a holiday.
Hey, fill me bucket up, look, will you?
Certainly, Stanley. Do you want mild or bitter?
Hey?
Don't shilly-shally, Stanley. What sort of ale do you want in your bucket?
I don't want ale, I want water.
Nay, don't tell me you've signed a pledge.
It's not for supping, it's for cleaning windows.
Hey, this is a public house, not a public bath. You come in here for drinking, not washing.
I'll give over. Fill me bucket.
Your house isn't more than 50 yards away from here. Why don't you fill your bucket up there?
Oh, well, this is handier. Besides, I thought I'd try a pint while I was here, you know.
Do you hear that, Betty?
What?
He comes in here in all his filth, his filthy wash rag in his hand, wants us to fill his filthy bucket and give him a drink and all.
Cheeky
Give us that pint, I won't spit in feathers.
I'm too soft. That's
Look.
always been my trouble.
Never mind the bucket now. I'll make this my dinner break.
I Stan, am I in on that round?
No, I'm just rushing this down and get back to work, you know.
Oh, I see. Like that, is it? Give us a pint, will you, darling?
Coming up. Hey, Eddie, do you know out about insulation?
I'm an expert on it, darling. And my advice to you is get yourself a pair of dead flannel drawers.
I'll swing for you one of these days, Yates. I'm talking about roof insulation, like in lofts.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
Hey, Betty. Well, Eddie reckons he can insulate lofts.
I'd have bought you a pint, Stan. It's a shame you're in a rush.
Oh, well, I can manage another 5 minutes, right, you know.
Oh, no, wouldn't be right. No, I mustn't tempt you. No, you've got work to do. No, it was wrong of me to offer.
You've done a bit of insulation in lofts, haven't you, lovey? Only you see, mine needs doing very badly, but it's got to be cheap, though.
I'll tell you what, Betty, I'm kicking my heels a bit
Yeah.
today. I'll have a word with Fairclough. If he'll let you have the stuff at cost, I'll do it as cheap as I can. How's that?
Oh, I would be grateful, love.
Well, leave it with me.
OK.
Hi, is the evening paper coming? Yes, they've just come. Oh, good. I want to get the adverts for the flats in the house. You've got more chance if you're early. Not with as much me and Brian can afford.
I believe you've actually named the day now, so somebody was telling me.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, congratulations. I'd like to wish you every happiness.
Thanks very much.
Aye, same here, love. Best of luck.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to afford to buy our own place beforehand, of course. It'll just have to be a bed sit. Hello, Mrs. Sharp.
Hello.
Unless we can find a flat, but it's murder trying to find somewhere to rent.
You want to think about buying a little terraced house round here just to start you off?
Yes, after all, when you're young, it doesn't have to be much of a house.
Watch it, Riley. I live in one of them houses we're talking about.
Yes, well, it's different for you. Anyway, you're not young.
So you've joined the ranks of house hunters, have you? Well, I wish you luck.
Oh, thanks a lot. I think we'll need it. Brian reckons we can get 100% mortgage on a new house, but I'm not so sure. I think we'll have to save up for a deposit.
Any chance with council?
No. Anyway, I'll have to go. We've got a rush. See ya.
Ta-ra, love.
Ta-ra.
In my day, you had to keep your ears open for somebody moving. Of course, it was all rented in those days. Never dreamed of buying. But if you heard of somebody moving, you rush around to see the landlord as fast as your feet could take you.
You never hear of houses to rent these days, do you? Or except from council.
Unless you're in what they call a tied cottage, which means you're a slave to the job you're in. A bit like me in the flat upstairs.
You're very bullshit today, Riley.
And what does Gail's mother-in-law-to-be think of the wedding plans?
Ivy? Oh, still dead against it, I hear.
They say Brian left home because of her attitude.
Do you know, I have never heard of a wedding yet that didn't cause bother of some sort. There's always somebody not pleased. You wait till Prince Charles gets married, it'll be just the same.
Not seen that lad of yours around lately.
Have you not?
Not poorly, I hope.
Why should he be poorly?
Oh, I never said he were, only, well, we're not seeing him around. It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder, Hilda, doesn't it? Because you're nosy.
Oh, well, that's very nice, I must say. I'm only taking an interest in the lad, wondering why I haven't seen him. Well, I mean, if somebody's your neighbour, you expect to see him, don't you? That's if he's still living at home.
Hilda, drop dead.
I thought as much. There, Brian still hasn't come home.
You very well he hadn't. You're just mithering the woman, that's all.
No, I'm not. He might have come home with his tail between his legs for all I know.
Tell me, Sir Matilda, have you got the brass neck to cross-examine people and keep grinding on at them till you get your answers?
Ah, well, I'm interested in people, me. I'm concerned for me fellow human beings.
Like Ivy said, nosy.
Ah, well, I noticed you two stood there with your ears flapping, taking all in, didn't you?
Go on, I'll plead guilty to that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, well, don't go on at me then, 'cause you two are just as nosy. Only you're not honest and straightforward with it like what I am.
Hello, lovey. Did you have a word with Len?
I did, and he said you can have the fiberglass it costs and all it'll cost you is my time.
Oh, that sounds all right.
It's a bargain of a lifetime. Mind you, it's got to be today.
Why's that?
Well, he's got nothing for me to do today, and that way he gets me wages paid.
Oh, I see.
Are you on?
Right. You know Hillside Crescent, do you?
Yeah, off Town Lane.
Number 21.
Right. Sound.
You'll be able to find the loft, will you?
Well, in my experience, it's usually up at the top of the house.
Yeah, daft devil. No, I mean, the little trap's in my bedroom. If you want to make a cup of tea, you can.
You're a fine, understanding woman, Becky.
He's doing the job for you, is he?
Yeah.
I hope you've got a strong bedroom ceiling.
What do you mean?
Have you seen the weight of him? I wouldn't fancy him dropping through my bedroom ceiling.
You never said that to me last night, did you?
Hey, you will be careful, won't you?
Don't worry, love. Have faith. Hello, Duchess.
I'll have my free milk stout.
OK, my love.
What's up with you? You've got a face like someone on a fishmonger's slab.
Well, I'm going to be on my own for a week, aren't I?
Oh, you don't know when you're well off. Lots of folks at your age are on their own all the time. Ken going away then?
Aye, he's going on holiday to a cottage at Lake District.
Very nice. Mind you, I don't blame him for going away on his own. You can be a cantankerous old devil at the best of times.
Hey, I love it.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
He's not going on his own. He's taking Deirdre Langton.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Ken Barlow's gone on holiday with Deirdre.
Oh, well, I knew they were going out together, you know, but still going on holiday.
Perhaps he's getting serious. Surprised at him, though, aren't you? He's pushing it a bit, isn't he? What about Tracy? Who's looking after her?
She's going with him.
Ken's very fond of Tracy. It's the mother he's fond of.
Oh, now, Hilda, don't you start putting the needle in.
I'm not. She's still a married woman, though, isn't she?
Well, I say good luck to
So
him.
do I. They're going to need it round here.
Hello? Oh, hello, Betty. Yeah, I've just this minute walked through the door. Yeah? No, I won't stand on the bed. Yes, I'll use the stepladder. Will you stop worrying? Given half the chance, I'll get on with the job. Yeah, all right, love. Yeah, see ya. Ta-da.
It was a little sundress I was looking for, really. Not that we ever get any sun.
I seem to remember there are one or two in there.
I'll keep looking then.
I'll take this, love, and a box of matches.
Right.
Hello, love.
Oh, hi, Elsie.
I suppose by rights I should be telling you to have a good time.
Pardon?
Well, what I hear is right, you're going away with Ken Barlow tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you never said. Why didn't you tell us? You weren't trying to keep it a secret, were you? Oh, was I heck? It was only arranged this morning. No, just a friend of his. He's offered to lend us his holiday cottage in the lakes.
Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I think it's lovely up there. I mean, all that wonderful scenery.
Well, if it had been me, I'd be bragging about it, not trying to hide it under my hat.
I wasn't. I just wasn't going round shouting about it, that's all. Did Ken tell you?
No, I didn't, love. As a matter of fact, it was Albert Tatlock was telling all and sundry in the Rovers.
Oh.
Look, let's face it, love, if you wanted to keep it quiet round here, you couldn't do. So brace yourself. If you give folks something to gossip about, they will do. And I know I've had my share. I just hope you can stand up to it, you know, because it's your turn.
So, that's Lake Ullswater, is it?
Yes, that's right. Only they just call it Ullswater. The water bit does instead of the lake.
Ah, I see.
Never been round there.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. It's much better than the Windermere end, which is very busy from tourists and things. Now, Harry's cottage is, let's see. Yeah, there it is, look. It's got its own little black dot.
Oh, yeah, it's quite near the lake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not quite as near as it looks. It'll be, what, about half a mile, I suppose.
I'm no good with maps. I never was. I was good at geography at school, but never maps.
Well, you can see the lake from the cottage, well, from the bedroom window, and there are 2 bedrooms, by the way, a big kitchen and a living room. And now that's where we'll be doing all our shopping, getting all our supplies and things like that, Pooley Bridge.
Oh, I've just thought of something. How are we going to get there?
Oh, I'm ahead of you. I was going to tell you, actually. I've hired a car. It's all fixed. I'm picking it up tomorrow.
Hey, we'll be going in a motor car.
Yeah.
You like that, won't you?
Good.
Yes.
I was just thinking there, do you want to get some supplies, some Rena here before we go? I mean, I could get them or you could get them if you like.
Well, we don't really need to get anything round here, do we? I mean, couldn't we get it tomorrow on the way there?
Yeah, fine, fine. Is something troubling you?
Oh, not really. I met Elsie Tanner earlier on, and she said she'd heard about us going away, and she said that everybody was gossiping about it, and she reckoned they'd really go to town on it.
Yeah, well, there's bound to be a little, I suppose. Does it bother you?
I don't know. Depends what they said, doesn't it?
Now then, Eddie.
Blimey, Herbie Cook.
Remember me, do you?
Of course I do. We were neighbours, weren't we?
Ah, that's right. Neighbours.
Oh, gee, that was a few years ago. I've been out 4 years, you know.
I knew you as soon as I saw you.
Yeah, you were getting out just after me, weren't you?
Oh, aye. I've been out and I've been back in again. Ever since we're on that landing together, back in Walton. You know how it is. Do you know, as soon as I laid eyes on you, I said to myself, it's Eddie. Is this your house?
No, I'm just doing a job, you know.
Ah, you seem to be doing all right.
Well, clogging on. Not doing too bad, touch wood. How about you?
Not so clever, Eddie. Tell the truth, yeah. I'm on the floor. Have you got the price of a cup of tea?
Yeah, well, I'd like to help you, Herbie, only, you see, I'm a bit skint myself till the weekend. Look, there's 60p, take that.
I don't like asking on I'm not eating anything today.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do more, only, Look, I'll tell you what, why don't you come in and have a cup of tea and perhaps a butty in here?
Will it be all right? I mean, what about the people?
Oh, it's all right. I've got the run of the house. Come on, we'll have a brew.
Oh, hello, Tracy, love. Hey, I've got something for you. 5p piece to buy sweeties, eh?
Don't give her money, Elder.
Well, hasn't she to have money? Well, I just thought you'd need some spends for sweeties if you're going on your holidays, didn't I?
Yes, and don't go wheedling at the kid. If you've got anything to ask, then ask me.
Oh, well, excuse me. I was only trying to be pleasant to the child.
Oh, were you? Well, it sounded to me as if you were indulging one of your little habits.
Well, you've no room to talk about folks' habits, or to call me for talking to the child. Poor thing.
What do you mean, poor thing?
Well, I bet she hardly knows whether she's coming or going or where she lives or anything.
Come on, Tracy.
Since you give her Daddy's marching orders, it's just been one after another. She won't know who to call Daddy next.
You've got yourself a nice place here, Eddie.
I told you it's not mine.
Oh, yeah. I forget things, you know.
No, I'm just doing a job. I do a bit of everything now, you know. Bit of roofing, bit of plumbing. It's easy when you pick up the ropes.
Yeah, you always was quick on the uptake. I remember at Walton when you first came in. Mind, you were only a kid then.
Do you mind, Herbie? I'm trying not to remember that. How about you, then? You've been in again since then, haven't you?
Aye, I'm a 3-year.
I thought you'd have had enough beard.
I shouldn't have been in, Eddie. It was all a misunderstanding.
Oh, give over, Herbie. You've always had restless fingers. Don't tell me you were fitted up.
I've told you, it was a misunderstanding. You know what it's like when you've got form.
Yeah, I know what it's like.
I've been living with my daughter, Aunt Teresa. You might remember me telling you about her up Crumpsall way. Only I had a bit of trouble. Not with my daughter, no, with her husband, who is an animal he is. Don't like me, Eddie. I told him straight. I said, if I was a bit younger, you'd not lift a finger to me. Oh, he's an animal, he is.
So where you heading now, then?
Oh, I've got pals all over. Me, I know we'd get a kip somewhere.
Yeah, well, you don't want any more kips in Woking, do you?
No danger, dead straight, Eddie. If they do me again, I reckon that'll be it. They'll not let me out no more. Not with all the form I've got, you know how
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
you don't want to give them any excuse, do you?
No. No. Any more tea?
Yeah, there should be. Hang on. I'm putting 2 sugars in, Herbie. Here we are, mate. Hey, listen, I don't want to rush you, but I've got to get this job finished, you know.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be under your feet any longer. When you get to my age, you know, people don't like you hanging about.
Hey.
I'm used to it.
Come on, Herbie, I'm not people, am I?
No, you're a good lad. You're all right, Eddie. I'll see you then.
Take care, Herbie. Hey, don't do anything I wouldn't do.
All right, Albert. Oh, do you want the light on? It's a bit dark for reading.
I'm not reading. I'm thinking.
Oh, from the expression on your face, it's very gloomy business.
Yeah, well, I'm bothered about this holiday that you're going off on.
Well, look, if you're worried about being left on your own...
That doesn't bother me.
Just let me finish, will you? If you're worried about being left on your own, I can get Mrs. Sharples to come in.
Well, I'd rather be on my own. I don't want her fussing around. No, it's you I'm bothered about. Where's this holiday of yours leading to? That's what I want to know.
Uncle Albert, Deirdre and I enjoy each other's company. That's why we're going on holiday together. It doesn't have to lead anywhere.
But it will do whether you want it or not. See, I don't know what's got into you, taking her away and her child. You've got children of your own, you know. It's them you should be taking on holiday.
Now, just a minute, Uncle Albert.
Take young Peter and Susan on holiday, not somebody else's kids.
Look, in the first place, you know perfectly well that Peter and Susan's holiday is already fixed. In the second place, all this is quite irrelevant, and on top of that, it's none of your business.
Look, don't you shout at me.
I'm sorry, but you really would try the patience of a saint.
Hello, Flower.
Hello, love. Have you done it?
I have, love, and it's a smashing job, even though I say it myself.
Now, you sure you've done the proper job?
I have. Oh, there is one thing.
Yeah.
You need a new jacket on your hot water tank.
Oh.
I'll pop over tomorrow and put one on.
Right.
And I had a brew, like you said.
It's all right.
And I had a sandwich and all. There was a bit of spam in the fridge, you know.
Oh, I don't mind.
Well, I thought I'd tell you. And I've washed up and all that.
Oh.
And could I have a pint and a pie?
God, no wonder you're a big lad. All them sandwiches and pies and all.
Well, when you're toiling like I am, you've got to have the fuel, haven't you?
Elsie, I want to ask you something. Has our Brian been round at your place lately?
Well, yes, he has.
You don't have to know where he's living, do you? I mean, I thought you might have mentioned it, or Gail could have.
Oh, lovey, I can't tell you that, can I? You'll have to ask Gail. Here she is.
Oh, no.
See that? I come in, she goes out.
Oh, no, she just wanted to know where Brian was living, that's all.
You didn't tell her?
Well, of course I didn't. I told her she'd have to ask you.
Well, she wouldn't do that in a million years. And if she did, I wouldn't tell her.
Oh, lovey, it's not that. She just wants to know what he's up to. She's worried about
Yeah, well,
him.
he doesn't want her to know. She'd only go round there causing scenes. It wasn't me that made him leave home, Elsie. It was her.
Get us a pint, love.
And a light bottle.
And a light bottle.
I hear you've been picking on Deirdre today, Hilda.
All right, that'll be Betty Turpin telling tales. Well, for your information, I did no such thing. She started it.
What's to do?
What business is it of yours who she's going out with?
I never said no such thing.
And getting at her through the kid. That's hitting below the belt, that is.
Look, I keep telling you, it weren't me, it were her. I was just trying to be nice to the child, and she turned all nasty.
Will somebody tell me what's going on?
66p. You better ask your missus.
You're going on your holidays tomorrow, aren't you, with your mummy, where there's a big, big lake?
Yes.
Be quite a new experience for her, won't it, being in the country? Hope you get decent weather.
Sorry, Emily, what did you say?
Nothing very important. I was just saying I hope the weather's good while you're away.
Oh, yeah.
You bother packing tonight? You're miles away. There's nothing wrong, is there?
No, not really. I was just wondering if everybody else is going to think the same thing about me as Hilda Ogden does.
What do you mean?
I had a bit of a row with her in the street today. You know what she's like. She provokes you. Anyway, it finished up. She said... Oh, well.
What did she say?
Well, she reckons she felt sorry for Tracy because she thought that I was too fond of the fellas.
Oh, she's got a wicked tongue.
Is she right, Emily?
Of course she isn't. No, you must never even think it.
Eddie Yates.
It's a beggar, isn't it? I'm taking enough stuff away with us for a month, never mind a week.
That's the only problem with holidays in this country. Even in midsummer you've to take wellies and woolies. At least you'll be away from the routine. You'll be in beautiful countryside and you'll be able to do exactly as you please.
Which is something I don't seem to be able to do here.
You're not still worrying about what Hilda Ogden said?
Not worrying, really, but... Well, it rankles, niggles.
That's Hilda's speciality. The needling little remark. I don't think she likes to see other people happy.
That's a very un-Emily-like thing to say.
Why?
Well, don't usually hear you saying anything nasty about anybody.
Oh, Deirdre, love, I'm no saint. I agree, I don't enjoy causing trouble the way Hilda does, but I have got a temper, and she certainly knows how to get it going.
Ah, well, it was me she had to go at, me and Trace.
Well, you're part of the family, aren't you?
It was just what she said about Tracy not knowing who to call Daddy.
Just spite.
It's true, though, isn't it? I mean, if this goes on much longer, she's going to forget who Ray is.
Well, that's Ray's fault, Deirdre, not yours.
Yeah, but I sent him packing.
Well, he could have managed a few days back to see his daughter. I mean, don't tell me he hasn't had any time off all the months he's been in Holland.
Well, it's expensive, though, coming back.
Oh, it's not that expensive. He could come by boat. He must be earning enough. Oh, Deirdre, stop worrying. Tracy's happy, isn't she?
Well, you know she is.
Well, then, you go off on this holiday and enjoy it. You be happy, too, and forget everything else for a few days.
Including Hilda Ogden?
Especially Hilda Ogden.
I still say you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Oh, a very pleasant few days, I should think.
Oh,
Good company, good food.
well, better than what you get if you're going on your own, certainly.
I'm not allowing Deirdre to do any cooking. I made that absolutely clear. The only meal we'll have inside will be breakfast. After that, if the weather's fine, it'll all be picnics. Otherwise, there's plenty of little eating places.
Oh, and that's another thing.
Oh, yeah? What is?
I hope you've left me well stocked up with tins.
For?
Well, I'm not fasting until you come back.
Since when have you had to rely on tins? You're perfectly capable of making yourself a simple meal. You've done it for years.
Oh, well, I don't think I'll bother. You don't when you're on your own, do you? No, I'll just have to cope best way I can.
Are you by any chance going to the precinct when you've done here, Hilda?
I might be, why?
Well, if you do, will you anything chemist for me and get me a silver blonde rinse? I want to wash my hair this afternoon. I'll give you money.
Oh, are you going somewhere special?
Do I have to be going somewhere to wash my hair?
Hey, is it that big fella with the droopy tash works for British Rail?
What beats me is how MI5 ever let you resign. Will you stop doing that? You're giving me a headache.
Well, I wish I could play.
I wish you could, but you can't, so flaming belt up.
Do you know, I'd love to have been Liberace. Given a lot of pleasure to millions of people. Must be nice to be talented.
Oh, I am, but it lies in other directions.
Oh, what's that horrible noise?
Oh, it's our resident concert pianist. Will you get her to shut up, because I can't?
Hilda, shut up. Have you finished your work?
I've only got the back kitchen to do.
Well, then do it. And wipe down the cupboard doors while you're at it, will you? Because there's finger marks all over them.
Who are you to give me instructions? They're not my instructions, they're Mrs. Walker's, all right?
And, what's my orders, Sergeant Boss, sir?
Oh, same as oh, shut up.
Hey, what's up, Cot? And don't say now, or I'll slap your wrist, because I know you.
Well, I don't know if you remember seeing it when you came round to my house, but I had a little carriage clock on the shelf. I always kept it there, you see. I mean, Cyril's pals gave it to him from the force. We treasured that little clock.
What about it?
Well, got home last night and it was missing.
Oh, no. What else?
Well, nothing. Just that.
I mean, you'd not been robbed then? It wasn't burglars?
Well, somebody. I don't know who it was, but it did. Well, it didn't vanish into thin air.
Somebody? Eddie Yates were at your house yesterday, weren't he? Flaming Nora. He'd want his neck screwing round to pinch off a pal.
No, I didn't say it was Eddie.
Well, has anybody else been in your house? And he was there all day on his own, working in your loft? Well, you know what you've got to do, don't you?
The police, you mean?
Well, that's up to you, but first of all, you've got to have words with him. Is he coming back?
Well, he says he's finishing off today.
Well, you'll have to go round and have it out with him outright. If you don't, I will.
No. Thank you. I'll do it, lovey.
Well, you've not got to be soft, you know, Betty. Don't be frightened of him.
I'm not frightened of Eddie Yates. I'm just frightened of finding out that somebody that I trusted would, let me down like that. You know what I mean.
What time are you off, then?
Oh, about 1:30, Mrs. Sharples.
You can take that look off your face. I'm not about to do Hilda Ogden.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm not with you.
Oh, just a little scene that I heard about yesterday. But if you know naught about it, at least said.
Oh, what scene? What happened?
Now, Lucy, you didn't expect to go away on a holiday of this sort and not arouse any comment, did you?
Oh, I didn't think about it.
Oh, come on, lad. You're not as green as all that.
I see. Typical Hilda-type muck, was it?
Typical, but as I said, forget it. Go away, the three of you, and have a really happy holiday. As for the rest of them, it's none of their business.
Oh, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's hypocrisy.
I beg your pardon?
You cracking on you're a member of the Mischief Society. At your age, you know.
I'm doing no such thing.
Well, you're giving it your blessing. Do you know, I remember the time in your shovel when you'd have been thundering fire and damnation from pulpit. If anybody don't know like this.
Well, like what, for heaven's sake?
She's always cracking on to be holier than thou.
No, well, perhaps it is that as we get a bit older, some of us learn to be more tolerant, Albert.
I think the only thing he's worried about, Mr. Sharp, is he's concerned about his tum while I'm away.
Well, that's the least of your problems. I'll see to him.
What do you mean, you'll see to me?
Well, you can come over to me for your meals and I'll fetch them here.
Oh, will you, Mr. Sharp? That'll be marvellous. I'll pay you for any, any food or any trouble or anything.
Well, I'm not a flipping dog to be taken to kennels.
It's true. Dog will be less trouble.
Oh, he'll be no trouble. He's now to moan about. You've now to worry about.
And what do you get out of it?
Ah, yes, that reminds me. There are one or two little jobs I would want you to do.
What time's he coming?
Well, after dinner. If he turns up.
Well, if he doesn't, that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
I think I'll leave it well tonight.
You go now, this afternoon. Don't give him time to think up an excuse. We can manage without you here for half an hour. That's far more important.
You're talking as if it definitely was Eddie.
Look, Flower, there'll be nobody more pleased than me if it isn't. But on the facts as they stand, it's going to take a flaming miracle to convince me. So the sooner we know, the better, eh?
Right, that's me done.
Emily Bishop, since when have you taken to lolling in pub doorways waiting for opening time?
Do you mind giving these to Mrs. Walker? Well, yeah, I had to go to the electricity showroom and she asked me to pick them up.
Oh, she's not in, love. She's trolled off that day with her beloved Lady Vittler friends. Where have they?
Shower units, various kinds.
Oh, there's posh. Me, I settle for a bucket of cold water chucked over myself. Mind you, what I'm really saving my pennies for is one of them sunken baths, you know, you can hold orgies in.
Well, if you'll just see that she gets them.
Hey, Ken and Deirdre gone yet, have they?
Not yet.
Oh, I wouldn't mind swapping places with her. I've never seen much at lakes.
Shouldn't think Deirdre will be seeing much of the lakes neither.
What did you say, Mrs. Ogden?
Well, you know how it is on them sorts of occasions.
Do you mind if I have a private word with Mrs. Ogden? Through there.
Certainly.
Now, Luke, you don't need to start having a go at me just because I say what everybody else is thinking. Difference with me is I'm straight out with it.
I'll say this once. Just once. If you make any more of your wicked insinuations about Deirdre and Kenneth, I shall personally see to it that you suffer the consequences, even to the extent of going to law.
Oh, aye. And is it so far-fetched, then? I mean, seeing they're going off on their own together to think that they're up to summit.
They are going on holiday, Mrs. Ogden.
I know. In a cottage, on their own, with a 2-year-old for a chaperone. Oh, now, don't tell me you haven't thought it was a bit chancy yourself, knowing how prim and proper you are. I mean, would you go off and stay with a man under them circumstances, Emily Bishop?
It's not me who's going, is it? And it's none of my business. And more to the point, it is certainly none of yours. Do I make myself clear?
She's just finishing her dinner. and then we're ready.
Oh, that's all right. There's no hurry. I'm just going to pick the car up. It'll be about, well, half an hour at the most.
Right, we'll be at the door with our coats on. Like I said, we're all packed.
Yes, I can see. Well, you're certainly well organised.
I just don't like keeping people waiting.
Yeah. Looking forward to it?
Yes, I am, very much. It's just,
Butterflies.
well, they do say the best way to lose friends is to go on holiday with them.
Yeah, well, I'm not all that easy to shake off.
But you might go off us. You imagine a whole week at close range. I mean, she's not the little angel she looks, and even I've got my bad points, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, so have I. But you know why that is, don't you? Because we're human beings, we're people. We're not little plaster saints, which is what makes it so nice.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, mind you, I bet plaster saints don't have as much fun. I bet they don't go airing off to remote cottages in the Lake District with a bikini in one hand and a pair of welly gogs in the other.
Is that what you pack?
And a few other bits and pieces.
Right, well, so whatever the weather, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, not a bit.
Right. Well, I'll be off and pick up the car and then we'll be away. So, I'll see you soon.
Okay, like I said, we'll be waiting.
Right. And the butterflies?
I think we'll leave them behind.
Okay.
Aye, love. Checking up on me, are you?
What?
I said I'd come and I've come. Oh. I'm not one of them typical British workmen, you know, that says he'll come and then doesn't turn up. I'm just having a brew, and then I'll get the job finished. Should be done about 4 o'clock.
Eddie, there's something I've got to ask you, lovey.
Ask away.
Well, I had a little carriage clock. It was always there on the sideboard. You must have noticed it.
Yeah, engraved in it. Wedding present or something.
Yes, over wedding.
Yeah, nice clock, that. Is it broke?
No, it's disappeared.
You what?
Well, it was there when I went to work yesterday morning, and it wasn't there when I came home. It had gone, and it just didn't walk.
Yesterday? You mean when I was here? You mean you think it was me?
Hello, all set?
Yeah, everything but the kitchen sink.
Oh, right. Well, are you ready, Tracy? Ready for a ride in the big car?
She'll be expecting to see a flock of sheep before we get to the end of the street. She's not stopped going on about Tracy's sheep all morning. Have you?
Right, well, have a good time. And I hope weather keeps nice for you.
Well, we're not really bothered, Mr. Tartlock. We've got enough gear either way. It's just the rest and the change of scenery I'm looking forward to. Anyway, thanks.
And you?
Yes.
Drive carefully, will you? Especially on them motorways. And see that your seatbelts are fastened.
Oh, I was hoping I wouldn't miss you. I tried to nip out 20 minutes ago and had a mix-up over an order. Anyway, have a lovely time.
Oh, thanks. I'm sure we will.
Bye-bye, darling. And Ken?
Yes?
Do show her Wordsworth's cottage. I mean, it's a shame the daffodils are over, but it's well worth seeing.
It's all on the agenda.
Oh, good.
Right now. Have you forgotten anything?
Well, if we have, it's too late.
Okay.
Come on, love.
Come on, into the car. There you are, madam. In the back, chauffeur driven.
Yeah. That's it, man ahead. Right, bye-bye. Come on, let's get off. I feel as if there's 1,000 eyes watching us.
Yes, well, there probably are, and they're all Hilda Ogden. Okay, all right. Right,
Drive
bye.
carefully,
Hello.
bye-bye. Hope it stays fine. So do I. Never mind if it doesn't, we still have a good time. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something they wouldn't have done in my day. And, you know, things are different now. And it's no good me saying that because nobody takes a blind bit of notice.
Swear, Betty, I don't know nothing about it. Look, am I likely to pinch your clock? Am I likely to pinch anything from you? I wouldn't do it, you're a mate.
I want to believe you. Well, what other answer is there?
Look, you say it was here yesterday.
Positive.
And it was gone last night.
Well, it's certainly not here now, and I've looked everywhere. I mean, Eddie, it's not just the value of the clock, love, although it was worth quite a bit. I mean, Cyril's colleagues in the force gave it to him for our wedding anniversary. He set a lot of store by that little clock. Oh, I can't bear to think of it gone.
Look, perhaps it'll turn up.
Where? Now, look, I've told you I've looked everywhere. Was there anybody else here yesterday?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, did anybody come knocking at the door, you know, like hawkers or anything?
No, nobody.
No, well, they weren't likely to come in, pocket that clock. Not with you there.
Yeah, hardly. What are you going to do?
What can I do? Somehow or other I've been robbed. There's only one thing I can do. Send for the police.
Oh, Betty, don't do that.
What have you got to worry about? You've nothing to fear if you didn't know anything about it, have you?
Look, that's where you're wrong. The scuffers know me. To be down on me like a ton of bricks. They won't believe I didn't do it. You do, don't you?
Eddie.
Betty, I swear to you, on my mother's life, look, give me a Bible.
Look, there's no need for that. I want to believe you, Eddie. Heaven knows I do, but, well, whether I can or not, I mean, you know, under the circumstances.
I was always brought up to set great store by what's right and what's wrong. Well, I still do, but somehow along the line, my idea of what's right and what's wrong has changed.
That's known as tolerance, Chuck. Which reminds me, I'm surprised you've naught to say on the subject, Hilda.
If you got some brown paint, you could do the bathroom skirting board at the same time.
You are? Oh, Hilda has nothing to say. She wouldn't presume. Live and let live. That's her motto, isn't it, Hilda?
Oh, I've made my views known. I myself, personally, I agree with Mrs. Tilsley.
Oh, I never thought I'd see the day come.
Well, then, of course, everybody hasn't got our high model principles. I mean, if folk want to go about making exhibitions of themselves, it's now to do with me.
Has she had a personality change operation or something?
No, but she has had a few words with Emily Bishop, who I gather warned her to keep her trap shut as she would personally cement it up for her. Or words to that effect.
Good old Emily. I didn't know she had it in her.
What? As far as Deirdre and Tracy are concerned, she's like a flaming tigress defending her young.
Yeah, well, Kim will have to watch his step, won't he?
You know, I thought of that too.
Have I got this right? You saw this chap passing, invited him into bed for a cup of tea, and he pinched the clock.
I knew him in Walton. I thought it was an act of charity. I didn't know he still had sticky fingers. He told me he reformed.
And you believed him? You surprised me.
Yeah, all right, point taken. The point is, what do I do now?
Point is, what is Betty going to do?
Go to the police.
You must tell her then that he did it.
Oh, I can't shock the old beggar. Another stretch inside, I'd probably kill him.
You're going to take the blame. As far as I can see, the best thing to do is to find the clock.
Problem is finding Herbert. Haven't seen him for 4 years. Oh, I don't know. You do people a favour and this is how it ends up.
Oh, give over moaning. What's the worst thing that can happen?
I've told you, she's going to the scuffers.
She won't do that. She won't shop her mate.
Stanley, she's a policeman's widow. They're a different breed. Besides, I don't like carrying a can for something I haven't done. Oh, pig in hell.
How do? Hey, what's up with you? Is this that little ray of sunshine that were in our shop this morning? Full of enough chirpy cheerfulness to give me a banging headache?
Bog off.
Oh, I think you're lovely too. Hey, next time, walk right round him. 5 miles round him.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, you know that thing about I asked you about looking for a flat?
Yeah.
Don't bother. I think we found one. I rang up about it. We're going to see it tonight. It sounds perfect. It's in Stockport.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks. Did you hear that? I think me and Brian have found a flat.
Terrific.
It's in Stockport.
It's how you said.
Oh, well, that's very nice, Gail. I hope you'll be very happy. Congratulations in your first little home.
How the heck did you get in?
I let myself in. Ken give me a key.
Well, you got no right. It's my house.
Ah, yes, but I'm your babysitter.
Oh, stop talking such rubbish.
It's not rubbish. He told me to keep an eye on you and feed you.
Well, what is it?
It's a liver and bacon casserole.
Right, well, stick it in the oven, will you? I'll have a bit later on.
You'll do now to salt. We're having it now while it's fresh.
What do you mean, we?
Well, you don't suppose I'm making 2 lots of washing up, do you?
You eat in here?
I am.
All the time?
Till Ken gets back.
Oh, wait.
Well, you can come over to my place if you want. I'm easy.
Come on through. Thank you. I just thought you might fancy going to the pictures tonight with being on your own.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
Why not? Good idea.
Well, they'll be there now.
Oh, yes, easily. It's a straight run up the motorway. Ernest and I often used to go.
Oh, I wonder what'll be the outcome.
Of what?
Well, I mean, they're bound to get to know each other better, and I just wondered if they'll, decide to get together permanent.
I don't really know.
Well, I think they make a very nice couple myself. I don't think the age difference matters, do you?
Well, it's not what I think that counts.
But would you mind if they did? You'd miss them, wouldn't you, Deirdre and Tracy?
Well, I can't pretend I wouldn't, but as long as they're happy, that's the most important thing.
She certainly had her ups and downs, but
Well, I mean, she has been married and she has got a baby, and now Ken, I mean...
I know.
It just doesn't seem fair. Oh, sorry, Emily, that sounds awful. It sounds as if I'm jealous.
No, it's all right. I understand.
Well, I wanted to be happy because I like Deirdre and I'm very fond of Ken, but, well, sometimes you just get to thinking, if there's only so much happiness to go around, why can't we all have a little bit?
I think we do, but we don't always realise it at the time. So, what pictures are on tonight, then? And you can rule out horrors and science fiction for a start.
Oh, hang on.
I'm shutting. Should have shut 10 minutes since.
I only want a magazine. It'll not take a second. Only Albert asked me to get it this morning. I forgot.
What would you say if I came into your workroom after you'd switched your machines off and said, just run us up a pair of jeans?
It'll not take you a second.
Well, that's not the same thing.
I know it's not the same thing because it's me that's been stood on my little aching feet all day and it's me that's let Mavis go off early.
Well, it's not my fault if you can't organise your stuff, is it? Have you got it?
I'm not a flaming mind reader. You haven't told me yet what it is you want.
Oh.
Do it yourself. Oh, yeah, I suppose they'll be keeping him at it now then, won't they?
Who?
You're Brian and Gail. Have they got his dad lined up to do all the little odd jobs that'll need doing?
Want doing where?
In this flat they've got in Stockport. Oh, didn't you know about it?
It must have only happened today.
It was. Still, they won't be popping in every 5 minutes, will they? I mean, you'd be lucky if you see them for the tea on Sunday. Well, just think, but just you and Bert, just the two of you on your own. Nice to have a little bit of peace and quiet, won't it?
Another biscuit, Chuck.
If there's one thing I've never been known to say no to, amongst others, it's a milk chocolate oatmeal. So, have you decided?
Well, I've been thinking about it all day. As a matter of fact, I've thought about nothing else.
Look, I can see you minded out your skin. I mean, why else would I be round here? You've got to sort it out, kid. You get no peace of mind, I know you.
Yeah, but sort it out how? I mean, either I go to the police or I don't.
And if you don't, you just let him get away with it.
Well, he swears he didn't do it.
Do you believe him, though?
Well, I'd like to. I mean, well, you know I would. But it'd be balmy apart from anything else to take it, with him being the most likely suspect. I mean, even if he's that dishonest, he's that daft.
A very good point. But, on the other hand...
Go on.
Well, isn't it just possible he could be trading on that? That even though you thought it might be him, you wouldn't do out about it because you were a mate?
Took me for a mug, you mean?
No, Betty, no. Not exactly that. More like relying on your usual good nature.
I'm not that good-natured. I know I'm easy-going, but by gum, I've got my limits and I reckon I've reached them.
I know you have, Chuck. Which is why I'm saying, before you get yourself in a worse state of mind, you've got to make your mind up to do something constructive about it.
Police, you mean?
Well, it's the only thing to do, isn't it? Unless you can forget the whole thing and pretend it never happened.
Can't do that. Now you know I can't.
Well, then. I'm sorry, Chuck. You've not got much choice, have you?
Poor Eddie, and we'll find out his fate tomorrow in Coronation Street. Next tonight, wanted an inspector with just a little sense of humour on the buses.